Hey guys, welcome back to Project Bodybuilding and here with the Project Bodybuilding podcast, episode 26, here with two amazing guests. We definitely have a good one for you today. For this episode, we have Marx Max Muscle with some questionable attire. Lagging Mark, excuse me. Excuse me. And then
Good.
Supersetman.
Hello, everybody.
Oh man, it's gonna be a good
Hello,
one.
Supersetman.
We've I've talked about this video. I think I've talked about doing it in podcast, but we're finally getting around to it. We are going to rank every single major pro show of the 2024 season, all the way from we had a couple of shows that started qualifying for 2024 in 2023 after the Olympia. We had Romania and Prague last year, all the way up to this year's UK Pro. So we are officially done with 2024 qualifiers. Any show up until this point before the Olympia, we have like the France Pro and the Legion. Those will qualify for the 2025 Mr. Olympia. So we are officially done with the 2024 regular season. So we're going to rank everything we saw this year. And to do so, I have a very, very nice, Mark, I haven't showed you yet, a tier list. Isn't this something? Every single winner of these shows is on there, and I tried to put the words on there too of what the title of the show. Not everyone is super legible, and but I think it'll be clear once we talk about all of them. So any further questions before oh, let me explain the tiers. Let me explain the tiers. So we
Is
have
this not in order?
no, because it was, and then like the tier list in my computer like switched them out of order for some reason. I don't know why it does that.
I don't
But they
see Theo.
oh no.
I'm
Okay.
looking for Theo. Le
Okay.
Guerriere.
Yeah, the Japan
He must
Pro.
be there because this is a
Okay.
complete list.
I will
He is there somewhere
okay.
because you said it's a complete
I'll,
list.
I'll level with you. If you can name me one other person at that show, I will stop the show and put his picture on there. Name one other
Theo Le
person.
Guerriere.
Name
I
one
know all
other
kinds of them. Hold on a
name
sec while I check
no
here.
no no name one other person that was at the Japan Pro.
Roman Fritz. Oh,
Is that
no.
right?
Um,
Uh
Sung Chuli.
okay, I'm going to look. Oh, let's put it on record here. Um Let me know if I miss it. These are all the shows that happened this year.
And
Uh,
Sibasisu.
I
Or no,
have
that was a different show.
was it no, it was the Japan Pro, not Tokyo.
In second place, we actually had Vlad Kiriak. He's from Romania.
Vlad.
That
Yeah.
doesn't count. You weren't in on the challenge. Where is it at? Man, they've scrubbed this show because they realize there's just no point in talking about it, respectfully.
I think you can search for Tokyo.
I'll just have to.
Just go Theo Le Guerriere, NPC News Online.
Okay, here we go. Alfred, okay, yeah. Roman
Albert
Fritz was there.
Cheria.
So
Yes.
Mark was right about something. We'll put him in.
See you next time, guys.
We'll put him in.
A
Just
little victory, a small little victory.
you think you're
Small step
so
for men.
okay. I'll get his picture. Let's see here. I got it. Well, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this, but I was like, well, I'll make it look nice. I'll make sure if I can get their medals in there too, or the trophies, put that in there. That's gonna look really nice. I'll put the names on there. Uh, and then you come in.
Admit it, you left out the Theo just to mess up with Mark.
Just
Mark is quite frankly the only one who noticed.
He's his favorite.
I'm one of those bad neighbors that'll come over and hey, got a little scratch on your car there, Frank.
Yeah.
Little...
Superset Man, did you notice?
No, I haven't. I didn't notice until
No, I
Mark.
didn't either. And then I was literally like, oh, well, that's everyone. I even got the shows from 2023. I was like, oh, there was only two of them. And then I thought really long and hard about it. I was like, were there only two? Like, yes.
But there are 19 pictures.
There's a couple of guys that aren't going, right? Do you got those?
Oh,
down?
you have Hadi twice. Oh yeah, that's
Well,
it.
it's about the pro shows.
Yeah,
It's about the
yeah,
pro
yeah, yeah,
shows.
yeah. My bad.
Oh, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I guess I should explain that. So,
Right. So
I'll explain. We're going to judge. I should explain what we're judging on here. We're going to be judging on mainly just two things: production, and this is an all-encompassing term, lighting, the flow of the show, did it go over, things like that. As well as the live streams, that can be grouped in there. Was it expensive? Was it good? Was it malfunctioning? And then we'll also, let's see, the lineups. The lineups is the other important thing. Like that's perhaps the most
oh,
important thing. And I'm not even saying this is not a to hurt the promoters or to dig at the promoters that couldn't get a good lineup. I'm just simply ranking which shows we enjoyed the most, you know? So that's the criteria. I've airdropped myself uh Theo's picture. Let me just find him here. Nope, that's not him. That's now I have to find him. And then we'll have,
poor Theo.
poor Theo. And you know what? I think Theo looks pretty good so far. He's had a full year to do this. Um, he's gonna.
Yes,
I think he won't be last. That's my hot take, which I don't think is
I
necessarily a
think
hot take.
I think it'll be a huge victory if he can beat, the guys that are the first guys, the Mo Foda, and
Yeah,
what
I
was the
think
other
yeah
guy that just won
he's in
show?
that tier. Mofoda. I think he can beat Bruno. Um,
Bruno.
I don't know about too many other guys. But anyway, we have
Mm,
Mark. Are you familiar with the tiers? I don't need to explain this, do I?
you got S for super good, A for
Yes.
pretty good but not so
Not
good, B
perfect. Not
for
perfect.
basically
Sure.
pretty good, C for
I could find
couldn't
just
be any better.
yeah, just as much wrong as there is right. D is like there's things right, but there were more things bad, and then F is just no impact on me. Like you okay.
Failure.
Sure, yes, F for failure. All right. So let's get into it. And let's start. I do want to pick out the Arnold classics first, just because I think all of them but Brazil is an S tier. Like I borderline didn't even want to include uh the Arnolds because it's they qualify for the Olympia, so they are technically a pro show, although someone that was already qualified won 2 out of the 3. But
Yeah.
given it, it's like its own thing. It's not exactly a pro show, so it is
It
Yeah,
still comes along with the
yeah,
perks, but usually the person that wins it doesn't need it.
sure, sure. So Florin, do
You could
you
do the
agree as
history
well?
on that.
yeah. I was saying that you have the Olympia, you have the all the other pro shows, and there's the Arnold that it's like in between or closer to the Olympia than to the rest of the shows. So it's more
Yeah.
special, especially the Ohio one because
Yeah.
the UK is not every year like it was this year.
Mhm.
Like this year it was Ohio 2.0, but you didn't have Rafael, but
Mhm.
most of the other guys were there too.
Yeah, that's and we also had a good
But
classic division. Good men's physique from what I remember, and from what I know. We no 212 on either of them, but like there wasn't it's the Arnold, and I think both of them were very intact show to show. So I think both of them deserve S. I don't think the UK should be an A.
yeah, I agree.
Mark, do you concur?
What's S as opposed to A?
Um, I think a
Is
good
S
A.
better than A?
I think a good maybe bottom of A, B. It's like Arnold Brazil.
Now, do you not have the Romania here, or did you mention that?
It's on there. It's yeah, it's over here towards the end by Dubai and Pro Muscle Italy. That's an A tier show.
Oh, there
We'll
it is.
get
There it is.
we're moving ahead. Stay on to the topic at hand. Do you think the Arnold Ohio and Arnold UK are S tier shows?
Now, is that the top, the best?
Yes, that is the
Okay.
best.
Well, when you were explaining your tiers, I was trying to find mistakes in your thing.
No, S is like you can't.
Yeah, the Ohio, the UK, most certainly, I don't think was as good.
Okay, but it's still S tier. Like
But
there's
I'm
like
more focused on the lineups and the
what was the UK
visibility.
missing? What was the UK missing that
The
the Arnold
UK
did?
was missing the fact that it was the
Raphael.
two guys that just competed together, and we already seen that. So it's like this is part
That's very
two.
exciting. That's very
Not
exciting.
no, it would be exciting if it were close.
Okay, yeah, it'd
But
be more
there was
exciting if you were close.
we could see that there was nothing Samson did. Now Samson did improve, and Hattie might not even have looked as good, but it was still
Exactly.
yeah. But
Okay, but you
that was
have
even best case Ontario for Samson, and it's still. But
in
there were
in the modern era, you don't have Olympians doing that much, let alone top Olympians. If you've already qualified automatically, you don't have that.
all
And
right,
the classic division was also really good. Like it's the only one I could really remember
and that
vividly.
again, it was a huge thing when Wesley beat Ramon at the
Yes,
Arnold, Ohio, but it wasn't as big at the UK, was it?
because Ramon was gone. Yeah, and those are the two biggest names. The Brazilians actually. Brandao wasn't there, and neither was Ramon, whatever you say.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ramon.
it's
I, I,
Ramon.
I
I
just,
got
I
corrected.
just thought I enjoyed the Ohio more than the UK.
Okay, well that's why it's at the top of the list. We're
Yeah,
arguing. We're arguing over. It's like
I agree that UK wasn't on the same level, but you cannot put it on an A if you
yeah,
ask me, because then none other show we're gonna get an S if
that's true. Yeah,
UK is gonna get an A.
and that's another thing.
Yeah. I see your point there. It was
The
still a banger show.
yeah, the bar is unfortunately kind of low for modern pro shows. You know, it's like by modern pro shows, like I said, no one competes that much, and they're very spread out. You'll have one or two pros pop up, sometimes only one major one. So like a show like the Arnold UK, it's like again, I was borderline even contemplating to not even include it because you know Arnold was there. It was the second biggest show of the year thus far outside of the Arnold, clearly. And I think it was still the second biggest show this year because we haven't gone to the Olympia yet. So I think it's S tier, and it's not moving. Mark. Anyway,
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm actually very
There,
interested in. Well, what's that?
yeah, there is one more show that has a lineup that is close to both of the Arnolds, but
Yeah,
we'll get to it.
yeah. I
Okay,
know the exact show you're talking about.
you guys. What do you think about the Arnold Brazil? Honestly, the classic. I remember Fabio Junio. It was close and classic. But it was close. The top two in open, we had the debut of
Three.
yeah the debut of Good Vito,
Yeah.
but it was missing that mystique. You know, Arnold wasn't even there. The show was like meh. It had a free stream, and that's
The
something I didn't
lighting was
mention.
was way worse than the other two Arnolds.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
overall seemed like a very just not it just wasn't up to the standard. Like you could have swapped that out from it. You could have swapped the name out. Like it didn't have to be an Arnold, it was, but like that was just a standard good pro show.
Yeah,
Pretty
and it
good.
and the result, the open result was a bit controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
that that's the first thing I think of when I see that show.
I
It's like I
think
don't know.
that's a good thing.
So yeah, this counts, right? I mean, if a show is controversial,
I think
uh,
so. I think even if I disagree with it, like if it gets me talking, like that's a good show.
yeah, I'm not saying Rafael shouldn't have won, but
It was split.
it was debatable. Yeah, if it
Um,
Yeah,
was
he
held
was
in
he was
Brazil, who knows?
I think maybe I'm giving it too much flack because it had the Arnold Classic name and came after like
Yeah, we compare it with the other, but it's not an A for me. So B,
not an A. Okay.
not an A. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, if you look at the names from the lineup, it's definitely. I mean, we can we switch them while we
Yeah,
go
we can switch
further?
more at the
We
end.
might change our minds.
I agree. I
So
agree. We can do some
let's leave
yeah.
it
readjusting.
there for now. but maybe we can change our minds
Okay.
later.
I'm skipping over New York, you animals. You are frothing at the mouth to get to New York. Such an overrated show. I'm kidding. It was actually pretty good the more that I think about it. Let's go like semi in order. So I think we have, let's just rank this Japan Pro down here since someone just had to have it included. So Mark, what do you think? Where do you think a Japan Pro should rank?
What's about S above
I
S?
mean, it was
S plus.
it was a decent matchup, like the top two.
No classic, no 212. Who's this dude that won men's physique?
I don't pay attention to that division anyway.
My man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you do
I
have a
mean,
lot
with
of
all due
good
respect,
Asian athletes. Like Jan was here. I don't know if it's Jan or Yan. Alfred, we talked about. Roman Fritz, actually, but he was in fourth. Vitor
Roman
Boff, I
Fritz.
like. Yes, Roman Fritz. But yeah, it was just like very, very, I don't even want to say underrated names because they're not famous for a reason. Respectfully,
Well,
respectfully, they're not okay. Them
no,
themselves are not anything above C tier bodybuilders at this given point in their career.
but they're all quality. Like sometimes you'll see some specimens walking out there and you think there's nothing this guy can do. Like terrible little short little T-Rex arms or something, attachments. You know what I mean? These
Sure.
physiques, just no way. Those guys they got pretty aesthetic looking, they're decent physiques.
The Japanese?
No, the guys
Oh,
the
just the guys at the
guys
Japan
at the
Pro.
Japan Pro. The
I didn't know what
Japanese.
you were I didn't
No, it was a decently classy show. I thought it was,
the
but
lighting was
obviously
worse
these
than I
guys,
remember. Like I'm pulling it up
yeah,
here. The lighting was
yeah, it was
like
bluish.
that's not
Yeah,
I
it's good.
think
It
maybe
was,
hold on. Yeah, that's like
but it should matter because the number of guys in the open. I mean, we had like 16 guys compared to Arnold, which had like 8 participants. I mean, this should matter too, I guess. The more the better, or not necessary.
I disagree. I'm a hardcore the less the better to a certain extent. Like I'm fine with my pro shows having 10 guys per division in there, honestly.
Yeah, if they're all stars and you want to see where these guys are going to stack up, then yes, more the
Yeah.
merrier. But it's pretty hard to get an all-star 20
Okay. Can we rank
members.
this in
So
F
I
tier
guess
and
this
move
is a
on?
minus for Japan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's
Give it
that?
your
What's that,
B.
Lauren?
So I guess this is a minus for Japan,
Yeah,
having
too many no names.
underwhelming names.
Can't
I
give it an F. Give it a D. All
But if
for
right, go ahead
what?
with your F.
For what?
Because it was
but
a decent competition. You guys might like
Was it
when
close? I'll take your word for it. Was it a close competition?
I think so. Who
Okay,
did he
that
beat?
that,
Vlad?
that I
Vlad.
think
He
so.
beat Vlad, right? Vlad Sukuruchku?
No,
no,
Alfred.
no,
Oh,
You
Alfred.
can't. That is
Ilya.
enough. That like that's a nail in the coffin right there.
You
That's it.
can
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
give
yeah.
it a
Whatever.
G.
Yeah,
I still say it was close.
we're missing an E tier here. I guess I don't know.
But if this is not an F, then which one is an F?
Exactly. This was unfortunately one of the
Well,
worst.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Give it your F.
Okay, and then
I
we'll
mean,
keep.
I mean the last two shows we got that might be possibly B.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then let's stick with the theme of the 2023 shows first before we get full blown to the 2024 season. Um, let's go. Romania happened first, and I remember I was actually pleasantly surprised. You get all this hype, you build up all this tension all year for the Olympia, but then and then once like you hear the results and that tension releases, it's like, well, now I have to wait until the Arnold, and then even then I have to wait a few months after that. This was a nice little tide over. You had a good 212. I remember Ahmad won both, if I'm not mistaken, at least in Prague. I think he was in Romania too. And then you had good classic. Wesley requalified here actually. And then of course a very good open in Romania because you had Beirut, you had Samson, of course, you had
Nathan
Nathan, and then yes, D's pro
and
debut.
Mo Foda.
Mo Foda, exactly. That was the top five. That's a very good top
Yes,
five.
yes. That I think I predicted him pretty high at the what did he win, the Chicago?
Yes. This is an A tier
Because
show.
I did that because he looked so good at Romania.
This is an. Would you guys agree? I guess the competition wasn't super close, but it was certainly exciting.
Uh, there was a few people that said Beirut was more conditioned than Samson.
Just because, I guess I should say, just because the first place spot wasn't
Yeah, but
necessarily contentious,
Oh, and there was a third versus fourth was close.
and Horse got the dub.
oh yeah,
Fourth,
you had
fourth
Boris as
got the
well.
W
Yeah.
because they even had those two dudes
That's wild. And
poses.
yeah, and
So
a
that
two
was
man call out.
cool. I say A for sure.
Yeah, at least when they,
I think you're biased.
I was in my honeymoon. If I wasn't if I hadn't the honeymoon, I was probably at the show because it was held in Bucharest.
Is Romania big? Like, could you drive here or like easily? I guess.
I'm close. I'm basically living in Bucharest, but
Oh,
the
okay.
Romania is a pretty big country for Europe.
Yeah.
For Europe
Europe?
is pretty big,
Are you guys
but
landlocked?
huh?
Are you guys landlocked, or do you have anything that touches the ocean?
We have the Black Sea. It's a small.
See,
Mid.
they're they're pretty big. It's salt water too. It is salt water.
Is it in fact black?
No.
It's darker than your usual sea, indeed.
Then your standard C. I see. Oh,
I
do you guys
see,
hear
I
that? Do
see.
you guys hear that
Yeah. See?
insufferable beeping outside of my house?
No.
Okay, I'm so glad because I've been hearing this for weeks, and this is not the first time I've mentioned this on the podcast. So they're basically going around spraying this painting these balconies of this building, right? And they've done every single side now, and like it's multiple stories. So and I guess
What, you're in a big building right now?
yes, and they couldn't they only back up, so it's that truck beeping sound.
Well, they got to
Like
do their job.
they do, but it is insufferable. Like I've had to go record in my closet because they, especially when they were right outside here, so annoying. So
You
I'm
were in the
glad.
closet? When did you come out?
Recently last week.
I live on the dirt road style,
Yeah,
people.
we
So
know.
these four wheelers, as they call them,
Yeah,
they get drinking their beer, and they're going on the four wheelers. And
that's so
now they
fun.
got these side by side things. I
Yeah,
call them side by eaches, and they have their country music just blaring out of the
they have
things.
country music in Canada.
That's all they listen to around here.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
hillbilly, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. My dog died. I
Have you
got
ever
a
seen
pickup truck.
do you live around woods? Do you live in a
I'm
wooded
in the
area?
woods. I'm in the woods.
So do you ever see the Wendigo?
Never heard tell of it.
Really?
The Wendigo.
Yes. It is like a Native American legend, like Native Americans like from the United States, like where they used to reside. I believe. So I don't know if the legend traveled up to the northern tribes around your
Is that like a
parts.
Bigfoot?
No, I think it's like more like a skinwalker, like can change shapes.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm
well,
not.
you would never see it, would you then?
I think it has a base form, if you will. I don't know.
A human, a trickster, the trickster?
It's not a human. It's a magic thing, because it's like maybe I don't know if it's like that it has to be intelligent, maybe in their lore. I don't know. Where do you think the Wendigo would rank on this list?
Well, if it could change shapes, it could turn itself into,
To the whole lineup.
Ronnie Coleman with Phil Heath muscle attachments.
Do you remember when Jake said, "Hey Dylan, imagine if you saw Prime, Big Ramy, Kai Green, Lionel Bayeki, Ronnie Coleman, all backstage. You didn't know, and of course they're all in their prime versions. I think about that so many times a day when I do these podcasts. Like when I have a podcast coming out, I just think about how could someone be so dumb as to say something so stupid like that. He gave us our the top five, which we'll go over his top five. He wasn't able to make it today. Jake had school. He had to. I packed his lunch for him before he went to class. I put a little note in there and said, "Don't screw up today," and I sent him on his merry little way. But yeah, we have his top five. The people that weren't able to make it here, we have their top five. So stay tuned for that. But back to the list with Prague, basically Romania 2.0, but you had Urs and the classic division, Nexzilla and Krizo in the open division. This is, I think,
Big,
excuse me.
big, good lineup.
Did you say D?
Big.
Oh, I
No,
think
no, no, not a D.
I think it's I guess the question is let's start with the Romanian. Was it better than the Romania Pro? Because they're very similar. Was it an improvement?
I would say so.
I would say so as well, Mark.
The Romanian.
Was Romania or Prague better? Because they were very similar, but there were a couple of switch outs.
Oh, I like Prague better.
Lighting, I would say, was better too. Better
Well,
videos.
you got Krizo, you got Nexzilla.
Yeah.
I'll take that
Very
over Nathan.
exciting
Nathan
there.
was still there. I'll take that over Horse and Beirut is
Yeah,
missing, but you had Krizo and Nexzilla. Nexzilla was like, and then that show is the reason we're still talking about him. So the hype
Krizo
around
looked
them was
great.
insane. Krizo did look pretty good.
Krizo looked great, yeah.
They all look good. They all look good. The backstage area must have been perfect for them. They must have had, and that makes a big difference.
Well, it's a show that actually cares about their athletes. Like they go out and sponsor athletes. Like, hey, you're good. We want you to compete in our show. Like, I think that's a great move. I think more people should do that. And I think it's cool to have reigning champions of a show. Like Andrew has Texas unofficially. He's not sponsored or anything, but like Chriso was the reigning champion. And he's a reigning guy that you
Agreed.
always he's kind of
Yeah.
like a boss of a level of a video game. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to beat our guy to get the title. I like that. I like that. I think that's A. I think this is the closest thing we've had to S so far.
Uh, I
But
would say if you don't give this one an S, then we're not getting any S's. I would vote for an S for Prague.
Okay, Mark, what would you think?
see, I think UK was less than Ohio, and I think Prague was more than Romania. But
What?
no, just listen, hear me
Okay, I'm
out
listening. I'm
now.
listening. I'm listening.
Where do you put UK versus Prague?
Well,
You're
the
going to
UK
have to
is
say
better.
UK was better because it was one more guy, and he beat the guy that was in Prague.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's
So
like,
I guess you'll have no choice but to put them in where they are right now.
but I'm thinking it. I guess it really depends on how big we want to make the S tier because like there are a couple of shows that we could make. If Prague is in the S tier, then the S tier becomes crowded. If it's not, it's like a more prestigious thing. So I say we leave it out just because like
There ain't no other show better than that Prague, aside
Yeah.
from the Arnolds.
you know what? Okay, well, when I think about it, we had a top five in the 212 with a mod, a top three in classic with Urs, good men's physique, and then a very studded open lineup. Are you Mark? Are you in favor of moving it to S?
Urs also did his guest posing against the open guys. He went out at the
The second
pose
night,
down.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that should bump it up to an S, I think.
I
That's just a
think so.
little
I'm just
cherry on
thinking,
top.
yeah. Did the show have a live stream? It did, didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, Prague, and Prague's a good show. I look forward to Prague every year now, actually, and it does have a long lineage of like every winner ends up being somebody, or every winner is somebody. Dexter Jackson, Rolly Winkler, Kai Green, all these. It still carries a lineage today.
Krizo.
I'm not saying those guys are better than the former winners because it's a different era, but
Samson won it before, right?
this is his first time.
Are you sure?
When else would he have won it?
I think he won it before.
No, there wasn't time.
Last year was Krizo.
I think he won it before.
2022. That's not true.
I don't think he won it before.
All right.
All right, here. Well, it's not. This is actually one show that doesn't show up on NPC News Online, so I can't fact check it.
Yeah, it does not. No, it does not.
Probably because they're like, you're not taking our pictures NBC News Online. They're very good. So
There's a few shows like that though that will not. You can't find them on NPC News Online.
the Arnolds are like that. The Prague is like that.
Yeah, Mark is right actually. In 2021 he won it probably.
Oh no. Well, that's like me 27 to Mark's one time he's been right. So
Yeah, but no, I've been right twice, and it's been recently too. So I think you come out of the gate strong,
what
but
did
you
you
taper down.
what were you right about besides the Prague thing?
No Theo Laguerriere.
Oh, that's different. That's just me forgetting. That's not me being wrong.
Oh, come on. Give me it. Give it to
No,
me.
maybe a half point for a tiebreaker when
I will go
maybe in a
through our
few
podcast
decades.
and I'll find the other one.
And do you guys know who Samson beat at this 2021 Prague show?
Raphael.
Yeah.
Raphael, Regan, Nathan, and
Yeah.
Rolly Winkler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rolly was there. Oh, that's when he started to taper it
Yeah.
down.
I'll have to
2021, he
I'll have to
started
revisit that show. Those
So that was a
European
good show,
shows
too.
from 2020 to 2021, like the British Grand Prix, the Europa 2020, the Prague in 2021, there was another show, Romania in 2021. All those like European shows in those 2 years are like really good. All of them are
There's
good.
Arnold UK, Nathan
Yes.
won, right?
Yes. And then Samson was second, I believe.
Samson was small there compared to
And
it was
really
right
smooth,
before
even
he
more
started to he was
before
not
the
that great.
trend.
Yes,
He
before
just
something anyway.
and
Before
then
Milos. Are you
well,
threatening me?
I actually have to show you something.
Revealed.
I have
Revealed.
I have to show you something. Okay, so he posted these are Regan's quads, right? And I said something like reveal the answer. I know who it was, all right. But hold on. Let me see if I can find this. And you can see a lot of these are saying revealed, revealed. A lot of people get it too. Oh, I don't think I'll be. Maybe Instagram removed it. Okay, it's right here. Regan can recognize that package from miles away.
And that's funny to you?
That is funny. That is funny.
You find this funny. The
Because
package.
he's serious. Zero posts, zero followers. Let's see. Let's take a look at all of the accounts private. I was gonna do some major digging live on the podcast, but that's
Wow. Wow.
How did
Ron, is that Ron Harris? Was
that
that
is
Ron
Ron
Harris?
Harris.
Shout out to Ron Harris.
He's been on the podcast, friend of the show.
He's the man. Just a little bit better than Giles.
That's don't make me choose now, but Giles is like I'm dressing like Giles for Halloween.
I'm dressing like my man Harris.
Is that what he wears? No, I thought
Maybe.
I can't find it again, but it was so fun. I can only imagine.
Got another package joke?
No,
Good
but
Lord.
it was just that same one. I just wanted to read it again. Like I just have to make sure it's real. Wow, those are revealing links. You can recognize that package from miles away. That's so funny. Have you guys ever noticed that some bodybuilders do have like a large gay following? Have you guys noticed that?
No.
I've
Oh,
noticed like
How would
no,
you know that? How
I
would you know
check
that?
if I look at comments on other posts, right? And
Yeah,
disproportionately
I'm not a comment reader.
oh, I am. I love that's how I found that. But I disproportionately some guys just have like a lot of, like uh just very forward comments. I would say Regan is one of those guys actually.
Really?
Yes, like I see it's not like his like page is plastered with men that are like, "Oh man, he's hot." It's like it is just
You can
disproportionately.
definitely you can tell they're gay. Do they have a rainbow line underneath of their name on
No,
muscle
they're
memory?
saying they're saying far more depraved things. Okay, come on. I can recognize that package from miles away. I don't need any other indicator.
I don't
I
know
just
though. He might just be being funny.
but people online are very eager to just say anything. Like this is why I think online is actually a lot of people say online is fake. I disagree. Online is really a true mirror of who we are deep down inside. A lot of us for worse, but people are just, they will say more often than not, I find depraved comments under certain people's posts. That's
you
all I'm
just
saying.
went philosophical.
What's that?
You just went philosophical.
Let's see. Okay. Those are the 2023 shows. Did I forget any, Mark? I've got
From
Japan on there.
2023. You got Theo. No, I think you're good.
I think that is good. Okay. Let's
Well,
go in
the
order.
Arnold's are
We skip
24,
yeah, we
but
skipped I wanted to get those out of the way first. Let's
yeah.
go Detroit Pro. So very good lighting. We have not seen better lighting. Stream,
Yeah.
$30. The best stream I've ever seen. I've never seen anything half as good. Even the Arnold, well, the Arnold being free, that bumps it up considerably, and it was a good production. But like in terms of just quality, Detroit will never be replicated because these people can't get it together unless you hire the same people to do the stream. But only one division, and I know it's my father, Martin Fitzwater, and he went up against Good Vito, which was a solid matchup, but I don't think this is ranking very high.
Really?
And after all, it's a division we all want to see. So
Where do you put this one then? You're gonna
I mean, that lighting was crazy.
Okay.
That
see.
I,
I'm
I
looking at certain things more so than you are.
well, what are you looking at? What puts it? Okay, where are you putting Detroit tentatively, and what makes you put it there?
B,
Why?
because the top two was an excellent battle. And I see that more as anything. If you're waiting for the end, and your winner is,
I
see,
had
to me
Martin
that,
clearly.
well,
Martin was so much more
anyway, it
complete.
was. Well, I don't know about that. Hey, good veto's good,
No back,
but
no
anyway,
chest, no side shots in general. That guy needs a lot
it,
of work. He's
it was
going to
a,
be
it was
so good, but he
a
needs a
lot
lot of work.
closer than. And your winner is Andrew Jacked. It was a decent top two. They were in good shape.
Okay, but
But
the thing is,
the
the show was
lighting,
6 people deep.
the
yes,
lighting in the background, the lighting in the background
Okay.
are what I like. And here's what puts it above. They had the little trophies for the best poser, the most
Ooh.
skilled, and the most muscular.
Okay, that appeals to me. That appeals to me for sure. I
That was
forgot about
great.
that.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I wish the
Superset
Olympia
Man.
would do that, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, exactly. Most of these shows should have, they do this in every amateur show. They usually have a most conditioned and best legs. And it usually is just an extra award. Maybe a gift card to a local restaurant is what you get. But like even just getting the accolade of, oh man, I had the best legs in this show out of
Yeah,
150 people.
that's what they
That's
want more than anything.
exactly. But no, not even the pro shows do it anymore. And I really like, and it wasn't just like best this, best that. It was Cedric McMillan's best posing award. It was
Yeah, yeah.
Luke Sando. It was a way to recognize some people. Um, so Superset Man, where are you tentatively putting this?
so I'm thinking if someone would ask me what I would rewatch, Detroit or Arnold Classic Brazil, I think I'm gonna say Detroit, so it's not gonna be lower than B.
Okay, I got out vote. I think maybe let me check the top fives. Okay, yeah, Jake had Detroit in his. So that's 4 votes there. Uh, I'd put it low B anyway, top of C. So we'll go
What
we'll
do
go
you
B for
do? You,
now.
do you like the Brazil better?
I gotta be honest, no, I don't. So I
I
like
do think the rightful person. I think Martin, your father, was the rightful winner, but it was because of a certain thing, like a couple things. It was conditioning, I think, was a little bit better.
Good Vito didn't have a back, and the
He
side
does it in the
shots
rear
were
lat.
very flimsy looking back, and Martin's like really thick and has the wingspan, and then his side shots are really skinny looking. Like that side tricep, the chest is just
Front
gone.
front double though.
Yeah,
I saw Tyler Mannion's review and he said mostly because of the back, I think.
Abs and thigh as well. He
abs and
was
thighs
getting
goes to
Martin.
Martin. It's a
Come
compliment.
on.
It,
Come on. The feathering in them quads, the ridges
please,
were that thick.
Yeah,
really.
crazy from good view.
I've felt Martin's quads before, and let me tell you, they're the best. They're the best in the world. It's He won easily. Probably won the abs and thighs. Won both back poses. Won both side poses. The only thing he didn't win were probably the front shots, and everything else
Oh,
was a
he won
big win. Front lat.
Vito's front lat spread's not the best. He's
Yeah,
got these
front
high
double.
lat. He's got to work on his posing and his side shots. He's got to work on.
Front double. That could stand next to. It could be in the Olympia lineup. That particular pose can be like top three.
He'll
I,
get
I
there.
yeah. I really like that. Um, I don't think I proved my point here. Hold on. This is
What do you think? His back was that bad? What about the rear lat spread? Don't
okay.
look at the
Just
rear double.
give me. Yeah, look at the rear double. What is that?
Look at the lower half, Buckaroo.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the lower half. Maybe we should call it the rear glute spread then. Is that if
You're
that's what
not
you're
going to
so
show that rear
concerned with?
lat spread?
I'm
What did
looking for
Ronnie
it.
Coleman call it? The
Hold
rear
on. Let me
lights
see.
out. Lights out. See
Is
that?
there
He wouldn't even hold it on there.
no comparisons. Okay, let me look at Martin's first. As if I missed it. As if I forgot. Okay. Look at the width. Good everything. Very good thickness. I think
Decent
that's
condition. Little washed out from the top. Pretty good condition.
oh man. Oh man. Give
Now
me
let's see the other guy
I'll
there.
try to put them. I'm
Rear
not
lat.
gonna put them side by side, but I'll keep you okay.
Oh yeah. Look at
Okay.
that. Ah, what do they used to say?
All
Like
right.
a rock. Just like a rock.
Supersetman. Who's winning this?
The lower body is good Vito, but overall is Martin.
Yes. Clearly.
Oh, come on. Look at the traps, guys.
Okay. Okay. It's not
Look
just
at
the
the
back.
back.
And then
I
I
I
think
Don't
like
look at
the
the rear
footage.
double. The rear
The
double,
footage is
Martin's
more
winning.
revealing.
Martin's winning
what's
the rear
that?
double.
The footage is more revealing.
That's
It's on
true.
YouTube.
Uh, and then
Yeah, good Vito from the back is. I mean,
he didn't even
he's
do his
bottom
side
heavy,
tricep.
too much bottom heavy.
He didn't even do his side tricep here. And you can tell like he needs a lot more thickness from the side in general. Like the pecs, they need a lot more thickness.
Yeah.
Martin took him to school here. Even in like the side leg is not as good from any other angle. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
I
good.
won't argue with the side shots, that's for sure.
Okay, and then Martin picks up the rear double. That's 3. He picks up the most muscular.
Nah, I wouldn't
What
I'd
are
have to
we
look at
even
that one.
arguing here? What he looks
Now look at
good.
this.
But he needs
This
more
guy's a
thickness.
beast.
The legs are just crazy with him.
Guys,
Yeah, no
there's
traps
more
on
there's
that.
more to life than just quads. Like, hold on here. Hold on. Take a look at
Hey, Mark, we're debating Dylan for Martin. That's crazy.
look at this.
Martin
There's
is
no
beating.
contest. There's no
Look at those
contest.
little legs. The other one's smooth,
What about New
smooth.
York?
And look at the abs.
Yeah, Martin wins.
I won't argue, but it was close.
Oh man.
I can't wait for the New York to see what you're saying,
It's
Dylan.
next. It's next, luckily. Okay. So New York.
Pose
It,
pose by pose, Martin versus Nick.
um it's not Nick. I will stand by this. It wasn't I had it close in my own comparison, but it wasn't close based on poses. Like Nick overwhelmingly like won a lot of these poses, but like it's the flaw in the stomach, and the judges clearly didn't like that. I don't think they were ever going to give it to Martin. Let me make that so clear. It wasn't like they were on the edges of their seats trying to figure out who won. I think they were making a push, making a sending up a smoke signal to Nick, like, "Hey, we don't want this. Fix it." I don't think they were ever going to give it to Martin, and I will be on record. Martin should never have won the New York Pro, and he didn't. I'll say that. But
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
but very good show. It had the classic was a little lacking. You had you had the Brazilian guy, what's his name? Eric Wildberger, and then Matt Grego. And I was actually really pleased with the 212. I was just as excited for that as I was the open. You had my new favorite 212 guy, Giuseppe Zagarella. And then, you had Ole, who was looking great, who unfortunately is sitting the Olympia out after some freak accident. And then good. The only men's physique guy I remember specifically from this year because he was so good was Ali Bilal. And I remember him clearly from the New York Pro. He liked my story, I think today or yesterday actually. So this show, it's probably the only thing else deserving of S tier. I'm fine with very high A, but for me, A or S tier. What do you think, Superset Man?
New York, I would say an A.
Why not S?
Even though Nick, you guys know, is my favorite nowadays bodybuilder, the the matchup with Martin was exciting, and also having Tonio there in the mix. But
Quentin?
if I'm looking at Prague, having Samson, Krizo, Nexila and Nathan.
More of a competitive thing.
Yeah, I mean, going into New York, everyone knew that Nick is gonna win. So yeah, you can say the same for Prague, but you had like the Nexila factor was huge at that moment. Everyone
Sure.
wanted to see, everyone compared him with Ronnie and everything. I would have done that as well, but I was in vacation then, so I didn't do anything. But the
Yeah.
Ronnie versus Nexila comparison and stuff like that.
I heard you were actually
And
in Nexzilla's hotel
Rizzo,
room.
huh?
You were actually in Nexzilla's hotel room. Is that true? After Prague?
Me?
Yes.
How did you know that?
I heard it through the grapevine. Tyler Mannion told me he was in the room next to you.
Damn.
Yeah. So
This
what were you
guy.
saying? What were you saying?
Yeah, and this is why I think New York is not at the same level with I'm comparing it with Prague, which is the least impressive one on the S tier, because if you compare New York with Arnold, that's definitely
Yeah.
not on the same level. So I would argue an A for New York.
Well, I'll go, shift it to Mark, but I want to look at everyone had New York in their top fives. No one had Prague in their top fives, which is very interesting. I think a lot of people forgot it though because it was at the tail
Yeah,
end of 2023. But
yeah.
Jake did rank his. This is actually his ranking. The other guys didn't, but New York was his favorite show of the year. Um, uh, I think
Hmm.
Goats. I think his was specifically the New York, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not. I don't quote me on that one. I know Jake's was 100% the New York Pro. Um, but yeah, all these guys, and these were the first ones they mentioned. So take that for what you will. But Mark, what do you think?
New York. I see. I
I
think it's kind of the same as the Prague in a way.
like how you're now. I can't wait to clip that. I will clip that. You said I said, Mark, what do you think about New York? New York. And then and that was it. And then that was it.
Now,
New
I will
York.
say you mentioned the 212.
Very good.
Yeah, and you neglected to mention Kareth Bajo.
Oh, we know you love Kareth. We know you love Kareth.
But he placed higher than what's his
Giuseppe.
name? No, the guy that beat him.
Oh, at the Olympia, Ole.
Oleg Krivy. So that was a big deal. That was kind of a
And
oh
that was an
geez.
upset. That was an upset. I had
Yes,
Kareth winning.
yes. And upsets are great, especially when it was fair. I agree. Ole,
Was better
he
that
looked
day.
awesome. Yeah, he was better that day. As far as I could see, anyway. I wasn't there, but
Well,
he looked
yeah.
pretty good. He looked pretty good. I'm always covering for the guys that I like, but yeah. But yeah, it was Martin and Nick, and then you had Tonio, and
Two.
it was a good show, but
Quentin was hyped up. Angel, you had a crossover in the 212.
Benton was hyped up, but that was kind of
A
a
nothing
downer.
burger. Yeah.
Wasn't that a nothing burger? If
Six.
he was along the lines like the big Nexzilla guy at the Prague, I could see those shows
Yeah, he
being
was
the
the show's
same.
Nexzilla. He was the show's Nexzilla, but didn't live up to his hype.
No, no.
Oh, I
So
will
yeah,
say,
I would
uh,
say A.
one of my favorite
Not
physiques was in this show. Just physiques that didn't win a pro show. Christian Wolski. I was really impressed with him at this show. He's
212.
no open. He was
Christian
fifth.
Wolski.
Christian Wolski.
Oh, Christian Wolski. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked awesome there. He got robbed, I think.
Yeah, I think I would have had him third with Nick in second, Martin first. Anyway, um, I'm going to I guess this is actually hotly debated. I think everyone in the chat that we have really wanted New York, probably an S, but those that are here get more say. So New York above Romania for now. Okay. Then let's skip to like literally an opposite show. No stream, some god awful lighting, no good lineup, and you had a lot of disappointments in the lineup. I think the Cali Pro, given the lineup, it's better than Japan, so maybe it could be D. I'm not really keen on this one. Mark, what do you think about the Cali?
The competition itself was decent. You had quite a few decent guys there.
None of them showed up besides
You couldn't tell
Amir,
the
Amir
footage sucked.
Antonio. There was no
The footage
footage.
sucked.
It was all
You could,
iPhone footage.
that's what I mean. You can't really tell what the
That knocks it
conditions
down
were
a
like.
lot for me. I got to be honest. Like
There was
the
pictures. There was some pictures.
and okay, and then the lighting was bad.
No, here's a way to look at it that weren't really taken into consideration. How many guys, like say New York Pro? There
Okay.
was 3 guys at that New York Pro that have all got their qualification eventually.
I don't
How
think
many?
that really matters. I think it matters how competitive
Well,
they
it's
are with
neat.
themselves.
I think it's neat.
They are Olympia top competitors. So
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I would rather see
Oh,
guys, I'd rather see guys at the top duke it out than, B tier duke it out. But if the B tier duke out is like a lot closer than the top guys, I'd rather have the B tier. Hot take, but I'm in it to see, I'm in it to argue, and that's what I like. I like seeing. It can't be. They can't be C tier, D tier bodybuilders because then I just want to see the two S guys, go head to head. But if there's like you said, a couple of like B tier guys that are really competitive with each other, I'll take that over like an Arnold UK top two, which was still pretty clear to me. But the top two was the top two Olympians besides Derek. So
that puts it up a
yeah,
huge notch, huge notch.
yeah, for some.
But we don't know where to rank Nick and Samson at the Olympia anymore.
Uh,
Nick wasn't there.
I know how to rank them.
I do too.
I will after the Olympia, or actually after the first call out. I'll be able to let you
That's
know.
not
That's
fair.
what I'm going to put my predictions
Oh,
out right after the first call out.
we have a another inclusion to our top five. I'm gonna include Xavier Wills. Uh, his top five has just come in, so let me put it on the list here. Yeah, we'll talk more about these later, but I want to get it put up. So Mark, did you give me an answer on the Cali? Like, what's the tier? What's the tier?
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
What's a what?
What's your tier for Cali?
I think I'll put it ahead of the Japan.
Okay, but like so far ahead that it's in D tier?
No. What's the tier? Let me see your little number sheet.
Oh my gosh.
D, yeah, it should belong in D. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Supersetman, what do
There,
you think about Cali? Or were you going to say something, Mark?
no, I was just gonna say the lineup was decent.
Mid.
Yeah, the lineup was more exciting than Japan, but yeah, if we're talking lineup, definitely above Japan. But all the package with lighting, production, and Kelly it has to be an F. It sucked. I mean, you
And
know,
there was
and
no live stream.
yeah, not to mention that at least for me, and yeah, maybe on stage it was a bit closer, but you were expecting Tonio to get the qualification ahead of the show, so not not that exciting from this perspective either. So yeah, I would say an F.
But the lineup was better than Japan.
Yes, it was better than Japan, but if we're ranking the lineups, put it on D. But if we're ranking
The whole
whole
package.
package, yeah, well, still ahead of Japan. But if this is my opinion, I mean, I'm curious what you guys say. I would agree
Yeah.
with a D for the lineup, but
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But the no live stream, like it just bugs me to no
yeah,
end.
I mean, this is what we were talking the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like,
People that
It should be last place, no question
oh,
for
okay. Well,
reason
did
alone.
Japan
I
have a
mean,
live stream?
I believe so.
I would say that they did. I got to be
I
honest.
didn't watch it, but
It should be there. It should be
they
there.
they have on a YouTube channel where they uploaded at least for the top guys all the routines, and I think some callouts as well. And
Japan did that?
Yeah, it's in HD.
Man,
Yeah,
Cali
there
Pro.
was plenty of footage of the Japan Pro. It was done well.
Yeah, it's way better than what
I
California.
think the pay was pretty good too.
It was
if I'm
good.
not
I think it was
mistaken.
like 30K for first place. I don't think that makes Japan Pro get out of F tier, but I think when you
No.
set the bar like that in F tier, it drags Cali Pro
Yeah.
down.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you then. You bent
Yeah.
my rubber arm. Kimura.
Do you guys know we're going to have a special guest on soon?
Nick Strength and Power?
I said, well, I did not that type of special. Come on, please.
Well, he's no more special than any of us.
Milos?
Let me reveal the guest. Now, anyway, to the topic at hand, let me debrief you here. Ranking the different pro shows on a couple of things. Lineup quality is probably the biggest one, and it doesn't just mean big names, but if the names are like mid-tier but very close with each other, very competition wise, it can put you up to those upper echelons just as much as having a big name will.
Yeah.
And then production.
Okay.
Lighting, stage production, how smooth the show was ran. The live stream quality, was it overly expensive? Did they even have a live stream? So on. And then those are the two main things. There are some other things, and there's a lot of nuance with those, but that's where we are so far.
Now, Prague was last year, correct?
Yeah, it qualified for this year, though.
Oh, okay, yep, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
so whatever's been since the Olympia last year, essentially.
Correct. So let's jump back in now. Xavier, you've been debriefed. What do you think of our ranking so far?
Yeah, I agree with both the Arnolds at the top because like free live streams. And the other thing that I loved as well, because I actually messaged oh geez, I don't know why his name, Brian from
Brian
the Arnold
Powers.
Classic.
Yeah.
Between prejudging and finals of the Arnold UK.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally went to town fixing that live stream lighting and the way it was working. And then at finals, it was like on. You know what I mean? So like
yes,
that's why I ranked the Arnold Ohio above it, because it was good for prejudging.
They cater to the fans
from memory. Yeah, but they corrected it, and I was just so impressed. So even though the prejudging was a little bit average and people were complaining, I'm like, guys, it's free.
Exactly.
But they fixed it. They like went to town and Brian's like, yeah, we're fixing it now. And I'm like, we'll see. Fixed it completely. It was just like perfect for finals. So I was super impressed.
What a turn the Arnolds have taken. I remember like when like Nick Strength and Power was getting in a beef with them because, you know, the thing what Legion is doing, the Arnold used to do a lot. But now, what was that?
A ferret. That was a ferret. I don't know where that came from.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know where.
Mark's beverage. It has a ferret, I guess. Oh, it's lagging, Mark. By the way, Xavier, if you're wondering why the voice is out of sync, every time he joins my stream, it's not stream, Zoom. The audio is not synced up, so he lags.
Wasn't always that way though.
It started out not doing that, and then we rejoiced that it ended up doing it.
Started out fine. You have to get the one that Sanchi Boy has.
I thought about switching to Riverside, but I don't know.
No more lagging Mark.
Well, that's true. That's a plus. But anyway,
Saunch just cuts me out of the Riverside ones.
That's
randomly.
true.
I don't know. That was so weird because I went to the point where I thought that like I'm like, okay, where do I disappear off the screen, and then I'll start listening to the podcast from then because I left with 30 minutes to go or whatever, and then I could hear Sanch. I'm like, I remember all this part. I'm like, I remember I was talking and just my bit's gone, and Sanch was like, yeah, to what I was saying. I'm like.
I never seen that.
The whole chunk. Yeah, because I remember talking about he mentioned about Maureen Blankisco, and he mentioned her name, and I corrected him, and he goes, yeah, but you just don't hear me saying it, and I'm just on the screen. So I don't know how he did that. Yeah, he cut, but it was only, I don't know, it's like 15, 20 minutes or whatever he cut out of me, but so I didn't listen to all of it because I'm like, this is weird. Like that part. Yeah, it was weird.
Okay. And then do you this is one I didn't expect, but Prague made its way up into the S tier. But you have to remember, like, you had Samson, you had Nexzilla doing the pro debut right after he just burst onto the scene with the pro card victory. You had I think I said Crizzo, but you had Samson, Crizzo, Nexzilla, um,
Yeah,
Nathan
sure.
Diash, yeah, Nathan Diasha. And then in the 212 you had Ahmad and Giuseppe Zagarella and a few others. Then you also in Classic you had Urs, and then
Urs.
there was that blonde guy that looks like Ian in men's physique. So overall, not a single division was lacking. So we decided to put it up into S. What do you concur? Do you remember Prague, or what do you think?
Are you talking to me?
No, get off the show. Get
I was
off.
just making sure. But yeah, Prague, yeah, it was really good. The only thing I didn't like was like when you can see that little image up there. For some reason, I just didn't like the red and then the black on the background in that way. But I'm sort of complaining about nothing there because it's like way better than the screens. So, but yeah, overall a pretty good show. Did we
S
get
tier?
high quality video out of that one?
It's out there, but you have to track it down of some guys. It's out there though.
Wasn't
Yeah. How was it?
Gyoko there?
No, it was Victor Kalberg. He does a couple Vitor Kalberg. He does a couple of
Yeah, he's good.
European shows.
Vitor Belfort?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Vitor
Yeah.
Belfort. He came out of retirement, but just to do photography.
Gilco quality of the footage, yeah.
Yeah, it was actually pretty
Yeah.
good.
The pictures are really good too. The pictures are huge.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like when I do comparisons, the pictures from the Prague are massive. So you can really
What was the stream like?
I don't remember.
That was the one thing where
I
I'm
didn't
like,
buy
I
it.
don't know, but I know I did, but I just.
Supersetman. Did
Oh,
you buy
actually,
it?
no. I think.
didn't
Wait,
watch it,
did Nathan Diasha do that show and place a little bit lower?
Yes.
yeah,
four.
That's the
Place-
one show I missed. I
Yeah,
didn't
me
see
too.
the stream. The one show I didn't cover last year.
But would you agree? Would you agree in S tier? Would you move it down to A?
Yep. No, I mean, if the stream was good, I'd say S tier 100%. But yeah, from everything else that came out, S. So yeah,
Was the
S
stream
tier.
good? No. What did I? Was the stream good? Would you put it in S tier? Yes. Like you answered too quick. But anyway, S tier. This is another one that I didn't. I didn't agree with it, and I still like don't on the face of it. But I don't find a reason to put it in S tier as the New York Pro. And what these two were arguing here, the two, I guess us three stooges were we were arguing that the competition, while there were a lot of names, like the competition for the winner wasn't close because I said the margin that Nick won by was narrow because of him. Martin was never going to win, in my opinion, but they wanted to send a message. So, and I don't think anyone ever thought that Nick was going to lose the show. Like it was a done deal leading up to it, so there was hardly any buildup. But then you did have, Ole and 212, and the whole 212 division ended up being really good. Classic was okay. Men's physique, Ali Bilal was pretty good. So good show, but like it's missing like those finer S tier elements. Would you concur, or would you say now S tier?
Oh, see, the New York Pro is a close one for me because I was.
Yeah, I was gonna say Xavier
Oh,
thought Martin was gonna win.
Oh,
He was
I
willing
had
to
Martin.
You were willing to bet
I-
50 bucks on that.
Yes, I was. Yeah. No one took me up on it. I don't know why.
You would
But
have lost.
yeah, no, I would have. But I saw what Martin looked like leading into it, and I was like, wow, this is very impressive. And I just had a
looked
feeling, right?
the
I
thin
thought he should
skin
have
on
won.
him, just like
Yeah,
glass.
feeling.
That skin.
Also, I wasn't there as well, so that's one thing. It's a lot of the time when these shows are really close. I think being there can be the difference sometimes. So
Bob was there, and he said it was close.
well,
yeah,
Bob
so,
is
I mean-
challenged.
rough. But yeah, New York- so yeah, I'd have New York A or S. Yeah, I could take it.
A
I really
or
like
S.
that show.
Make a decision.
I'd say S. It was such a good lineup for a smaller
Okay.
show. It had more prize money too. I take that into account.
Well,
Yeah,
I
a little
think
bit.
you're the deciding vote. Jake had it in his number one show of the year. EP was the first one to mention. GOAT was the first one to mention. You had it basically yes
Second.
because I don't count the Arnold Classics. I include them on the list, but like they're kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
So you know what? We'll bump it up to S for now. Xavier being the decide. Okay, is there an issue here?
I don't have any problem because as Nick Walker is my favorite bodybuilder, me subjectively, I enjoyed watching the New York, so I don't have any problems with it being an S. But I was just comparing more like the lineups, like the excitement, because I never saw it like close between Nick and Martin, but Prague, yeah, Samson was the favorite, but Krizo was an interesting factor. And then Nick Zilla was a very nice factor.
He puts it back.
Well, okay. The way I'm saying, I think the what I was
For
thinking of,
me, yeah, definitely Prague better than New York, but they
yeah,
both can stay on S.
and I was thinking New York is a lot closer to Romania and the way you describe the New York than it is to Prague in terms of these quality factors.
They all are close because
They're all close.
Romania had like horse. It didn't have Nick Zilla and Krizo, but it
Maybe.
had Beirut and horse. So it's Romania
And
is close.
Classic was good too because
Classic
Wesley
at the
was
New
there.
York was just mid.
Yeah, you had Wesley. Yeah.
212 at New York was great.
Exactly. But Romania was no slouch. It had Ahmad was there. He's a top 5 guy.
Okay.
I think
But Romania in Prague was
Prague had
better.
Urs.
Yeah,
Prague had
Prague
Urs.
was better. So New York is in between, so you can put it wherever. So.
okay. And then
So how much are we factoring in lineups? Is it like 50% of the scoring on it?
okay, genius. We don't need we don't it's not a math
See, because in my brain,
the way I see it, if I may, is like after all these shows, which shows I would rewatch, and I count the excitement I would have. So this is how I rank them in my mind.
Watch
So
value.
counting
Yeah.
everything from lighting, from streaming, from lineup, from so everything. So I would definitely watch New York. So I would not have a problem with it being an S, but it's a fine line there between Romania and Prague,
It's
and I
very
think New York
close.
is just in between.
Yeah.
because for me, I'm sort of swayed a little bit because I'm so into the live stream and because of what, I go live for a lot of these contests. So
Yeah.
I'm really into that part of it. And
Exactly.
obviously a lot of us are really into the high quality footage coming out.
Exactly.
And really that's a huge part of it as well. So for me, I'm like factoring in that a bit, plus the lineup, plus whatever else surrounded the show.
An individual.
Yeah, because Dubai was great, but the only issue I had with Dubai is just trying to figure out if there's a stream and stuff. Like it was just frustrating.
Yeah, there
I'm
was one
emailing.
Oh, and then it
messaging.
went
Yeah,
down.
but we found
it was down.
we found out last minute. Went down a little. It wasn't. Yeah,
No.
it was lagging and then went down for
You
a bit.
could
I think
not-
in the prejudging.
They had the amateur show on one day and the pro on the other day. I didn't buy the on the amateur day. I bought just on the pro day because I wasn't going to watch the amateurs anyway. You could not buy that morning. You couldn't buy the Dubai Pro that morning. The stream, the website to buy the stream was down. And then of course the stream itself had problems during the day. So that is actually like that's a big mark on that. So actually let's skip to that now. I don't think anyone is going to disagree. Desktop, do you agree, Xavier? Do you disagree with our F tiers?
Your F tiers, Cali Pro, I agree. Japan Pro. What was the Japan? Was that an open show?
Funny story. Funny story. I completely forgot about it. It wasn't on my list. And then Mark said, you missed Theo and whatever show he competed at. And then I was like, well, if you can name one other competitor of that show, I'll put it on there. And he said Roman Fritz, and he got it right. Roman Fritz was 4th of that show, so I put it on there, but it was F.
I covered this show.
And?
I disagree. So I will say one thing that I watched the live stream of this. Yeah, live stream was good. Very, very happy with it. Like the quality was like spot on. The other thing is as well, I loved that when the competitors came out, they had this huge thing. Like, I don't know how much money they spent to have this and get all the graphics done and everything. But just say, Martin Fitzwater's coming out. They had all these screens across the side, and it was like Martin would shoot in, and then it would be like some like footage of him at the side, and it'd be this whole thing. It'd be like Martin Fitzwater. The whole name would go across all the screens, and then in the middle, like the middle screen, it went to a logo, which annoyed me. I'm like, if that just went to black or a little bit darker, it would have been perfect. So you can see that like logo in the background. It went to that, but the production for a small show,
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much money they put into all those graphics and stuff, because I know that stuff is not cheap.
I'll move it up into D tier if you can name the second place of the show.
No.
Don't do that to me. Don't do it.
I can name them.
So the lineup is what hurts it.
Exactly.
I'd say D.
Okay. The problem is once I learned more about the Japan Pro and we talked about it, actually, Cali was originally in D for just having like a better lineup. But then when I realized how much they just left on the table with the shitty lighting and literally no live stream, the photos sucked, I had to bump it down because at least Japan went extra on other things within their control. So
and I think the purse is actually bigger
they have
Cali.
that YouTube channel with HD footage, so that
okay. A lot. I will put Cali Pro at the bottom of F, but should Japan be all the way up in D?
I think so, based off what I watched with the stream and everything. Like they did a good job, and Japan is hard to get athletes to. So I wouldn't say it's F based on what they did. So, yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's fair.
That just shows how much the Cali Pro dropped the ball because they literally had such a better lineup than Japan. So Cali, please fix it. Like it's not hard. It's just very simple.
No stream.
I do remember I remember the show being a lot better than the competitors. Nothing away from Theo, but with that type of production, they could have threw in a couple of big names.
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
If I was Japan Pro, sorry,
my bad.
What'd you say?
I was saying that California misses on all fronts nowadays.
Okay. Okay. At least Japan knocks it out with production. Okay.
It does they do have pictures for Cali, though. I will say that.
Japan has pictures. Lots of them. And apparently the posing routines.
NPC, though?
Yes, they were on there. I had them pulled up. And then after
the angle's bad.
Okay, but they have videos. They have videos.
Yeah.
That puts it up alone for me, honestly.
Yeah.
But
no live stream. Cali should get an F.
Okay. And then Vancouver had a live stream, incredibly expensive lineup, not super deep. Like there weren't that many guys here, actually. They're just John Jua is good, but there just isn't. There were how many names here? I'd have to look it up, but
there was only 8 the year before.
Let's see here. There are 11.
11,
and then Tim in second, that's somebody. Robin in third, that's somebody.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was a when you actually look at the competitors in the lineup, you're like, oh yeah, they're all like, like there's some good guys there.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, but it's not compared to the other lineups we had this year. I just don't think it was as high quality compared to the average.
This is D at most.
I'd say D.
No, I would say F based off the live stream being like to buy it for the whole weekend is like $100 something.
That's
ridiculous.
True. Like, you might as well not even have one at that point.
Yeah, I didn't cover it based on
what
Australian dollars. I think it was $140 or something.
I actually
no way I'm paying for that.
I'm with you. I do a lot of live streams myself. The live stream is very important to me. I think that should put it in F tier, honestly. So Supersetman, what do you think?
I didn't watch the live stream either for this show, but based on the lineup and everything, yeah, I like you said, at most AD. But if you guys know more than me, if you watched it live,
I didn't. I was literally, I opted out because I said, for the same reason I opted out of Toronto, which I guess we can talk about next because they were both Canadian shows, both supremely expensive. And I was like, respectfully, to see John and to see literally just John at Vancouver, because Robin's good, Tim's good, but to pay like you said, if I was in Australia, I would have not even looked. And then Toronto was even more expensive, actually. So I think honestly, Toronto over here,
both very expensive.
If you wanted the full weekend, it was just as much as Vancouver.
So for me, I know it was both in the hundreds, but I don't want to say 140 exactly, but it was very expensive. It might have even been more, to be honest, because I think I remember seeing $49 or something. Maybe that was US or Australian for prejudging, and then for finals it was like 70. It was like 69.95.
Yeah.
So I can't remember if that's Australian or American, but it was like I was like, that is crazy. Like it's more than the Olympia. The Olympia for in
Yes, that's the
Australian
thing.
dollars
Yes.
was
So that's an if,
$59
right?
or $69 for the whole weekend. And you get so much with that. You get so much.
And then the Toronto, they
People
split
complain
it up
about
in
that.
2 days. And you had to buy both days if
Oh.
you wanted it all.
And
Yeah,
if
I think they did that for Vancouver at one stage.
Vancouver was 2 days, wasn't it?
Mm.
It was
Oh.
when Hassan won it. It
I'm
was
not
a 2 day
sure.
show.
Yes.
I will say Toronto, I misspoke. They were charging the same price for open and amateur, if I'm not mistaken. I remember because I posted on my thing. And I said, respect to the amateurs, but you're not getting paid. So why are you guys being charged the same? Like that money is not going to you. You do not see a lick of it.
The only thing I'll say about charging to watch the amateurs is if there's family and they're not going to the show, and the price to get into some of these shows. Like I've been to shows in Australia where it's $70 for prejudging, $70 for finals, and this is 10 years ago. So if you're going to come and watch me for prejudging and finals, it's $140 Australian, which now with inflation, it's probably like $200. So it's like, that is, to me, is crazy. But they would sell out. They sold 700 odd tickets to prejudging to that, and then they sold 1,250 to finals, and only had 1,000 seating. So you had 250 people standing at the back or backstage or whatever. So they made I worked it out, it was $100 and something thousand on a state amateur show.
So in regards to Toronto, I liked the lineup more than any of these shows in F tier. I really like Akeem. I like John. You had Quentin being a lot better. But it's just, again, the insult. It's insulting when your live stream is that much. So it's like I don't even care about the lineup so much. It's like disqualified in a lot of ways. I think maybe I could rank it at the top of F tier, but really, what does it even matter? You know? Does everyone agree? Toronto and Vancouver in F tier?
Yeah.
I'd go D, but I'm not gonna protest.
For which one?
For Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say F for D.
Akeem versus Quint Beastwood was
mid.
Mildly interesting. I glanced over.
Well, John Jewett should have won. Did you say no?
Akeem's a beast. I'll tell you that right now.
And turn to the rear, ladies and gentlemen. And where did Akeem go? Where is he at? Please, John,
he's better this year for sure.
He is better than he's been. Come on. Anyway, so Supersetman, Toronto and F, you're the deciding vote here.
Toronto was better for the lineup than Vancouver, so it was definitely better than Vancouver, but
so much better that it can escape the D tier, escape the F tier.
Was there 212er Classic? Didn't that guy with the ponytail win Classic?
Oh, Niall.
Oh no, that was a different show.
Niall won Classic this year, did he not? In Toronto. Niall Darwin? Is that his name? Yeah. I think it's Niall.
Giuseppe won 212.
Oh man, that bumps it up. That bumps it up. At least okay, legitimately they did have another division then. If Vancouver didn't.
Yeah, I just don't see them in the same.
Toronto's better.
Oh yes.
The only thing I'll say though is, well, when you go back to the list, I don't think there's any other shows that will be in the F tier.
Maybe the last two ones.
Yeah, actually, I think
especially the Europa Pro.
Yeah, I think Toronto.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
We can just put that in D for now.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's skip to a good show actually before we go back to bad ones. Actually, let's just go to an average one. Let's go over here to Texas, the Texas Pro up next.
This is tricky with Texas. I mean,
this is a C tier show if I ever saw one, guys. Oh, no. Andrew jacked. Oh my god, one guy entered the show.
No.
Okay, you had a good classic.
I disagree.
You had a good classic division. You had a good classic division. Gabriel,
Okay, so
Laszlo.
yeah, it was awesome classic division. It was awesome. And the other thing about the Texas Pro was because I was live streaming this one, and the thing I liked about it was that I was like, oh yeah, it's a wrap before it started. So the hype going into it was like, we'll see how Andrew Jack looks. And I was hoping we'd see a crazy Andrew Jack that we could say, oh, is this going to be a 2024 Mr. Olympia? And we got
we
that.
did.
So I think we got the guy that could win the 2024 Mr. Olympia.
That
And yeah,
gives
look at this. And that makes it exciting. And then I think we had an exciting battle for second too between Jordan Hutchinson and Nate Spear, who I think are both very good, but
that's worth something.
Yeah, they're not strong enough to beat an Andrew Jack. But that was exciting enough for me to make the show.
You had Texas in your top 5. You had Texas in your top 5. Jake had Texas in his. Everyone has it at least in their top 5s. And what do we have now? We have.
I will say one thing. I just ranked the shows that someone put in the group chat, so I might have other shows up higher as well. I don't know.
Are you? I ranked someone else's top 5. All right, guys, please give me your top 5 shows of the entire year.
I just woke up.
Let me cheat off this guy's homework, please. Yeah. Okay, so desktop, Xavier Wills, desktop bodybuilding. Where do you think? Where would you put Texas tentatively? Just your ranking.
I would say the top of B, the bottom of A right now.
Okay, well, Supersetman, where would you rank Texas Pro tentatively?
Like I told you earlier, I'm mainly judging by my personal excitement about the show. So definitely, like Xavier said, yeah, it's definitely between A and B, and probably more
A and B.
Was Texas worse than, I don't know, man. It was definitely better than Detroit, but I don't know if it's on the same level with New York. So yeah.
Okay. And then
I think top of B. I think top of B based off lineup.
Definitely top of B. I mean, better than Arnold Brazil for sure.
Well, Mark, what do you think?
I have a nice little special spot for Texas there in that C. It's all down by itself.
That's what I would. Okay,
no, I see what you guys are saying. To me, the most important thing is, and your winner is, and if there's 2 guys standing there and you don't know, to me but everybody else has. I love that Andrew Jack looked awesome. I got a lot of views off his physique, against all the other Ronnie Coleman's, things of that nature. But
yeah,
to me, I just don't see it to Detroit standards because I thought Detroit was a close one. It was just as close as Martin versus Nick.
It's like that. It's like the SpongeBob quote. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Just as close as Martin versus Nick.
No.
But closer. If you would take out Andrew Jack from the show, where would you put it?
F?
D. It was still a decent show.
And okay, I think I can surrender B. I can't do anything else. And even then,
I won't argue.
I'll put it above Detroit simply because there were other divisions and they were quite good. I think actually can be above. The more I think about this Arnold Classic Brazil, like I said, it could just have been like a normal standard pro show, above average, but like I see these as.
Who was in Classic in Texas?
Gabriel Zancanelli, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Laszlo, my favorite. Austin Epsy had his pro debut. Dan Covey Anderson, if that's how you pronounce it.
Covey Anderson, yeah. Dan Covey, yeah. He was in 212.
And then Matthias Minigate.
Laszlo was like 4th and he looked awesome, wasn't he? Or 3rd or something.
Laszlo can be my father. Anyway.
That's 4th in the Classic. I mean,
that should be 4th in the world.
Very good lineup.
Yeah.
It ain't.
Well, you guys are wrong.
Hey, I've been rooting for this guy since the British Grand Prix years and years ago.
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I did hear from it back, and I think people said he was a little flat as well.
Yeah. I'll put the Arnold above Texas because I'm rewarding Texas for having better surrounding divisions. but the main event was better at the Arnold Brazil.
I'd say
Absolutely.
the Arnold Brazil in C.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm having second thoughts about that because I think we should consider how good the winner was, and Rafael wasn't at his best.
But was
No.
the competition close?
Was
I
close,
disagreed with the outcome.
but if both of them are off, what's the point?
Tonio wasn't off.
I'm not saying that Tony was off,
Third
but
could
the
have won
winner
that
was
show.
off. Was
What's that,
slightly
Supersetman?
off, right?
Mark, do you agree with this foolishness in C?
For Brazil, absolutely
Yeah.
not. I thought it was a solid top 3.
Okay.
I think the third place guy could have even won.
Xavier, what do you think?
Who was third in that show? Because we had Tonio,
Vito.
Raph.
Vito.
Oh yeah, Vito's good. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing, I suppose, if you're putting more
Vito,
emphasis on the lineup, that is pretty good.
The
Mhm.
competitiveness of the lineup. The competitiveness.
Wasn't it a free live stream too?
It was. Okay, that puts that.
Was
We
it
got to keep it in
free?
beat. Respects. I think the live
Was it free? Was it?
the free live
Okay.
stream. Supersetman, do you concur?
That's a strong argument.
That is a strong.
Yeah,
I think that's strong
exactly,
enough to at least maybe you can move it down later, but that has to be in B tier. Then
Yeah. Okay.
let's talk
Okay.
about what I think is my favorite show of the year,
Impro.
the Impro Classic Spain.
Was
I
that
don't-
right? Was I right?
I don't think it has those S tier elements. I think it has all the A tier elements written all over it. Supersetman, it's in close to your neck of the woods. What did you think about the Impro?
On paper, before the show, that was definitely
It was S tier.
a contender for S tier.
Yeah.
Having Krizo there, having Bonak there, Beirut, right? Beirut
Mhm.
was apparently robbed at this
He was.
show. And yes, it was definitely an S on paper, but having Krizo quite off, I would say. I mean, compared to Prague, I mean, I was expecting Krizo to be at his all-time best,
Yeah.
like he was 2023 M-Pro, and he disappointed. I mean, he has the injury, but regardless, that's not the point. Bonak probably shouldn't have won against Beirut, so this hurts, right, the overall score of the show.
No. I think if it's a controversial show, I think it helps. Even if I disagree with this one wholeheartedly, I think Beirut should have won, but I think it helps if it's controversial, even if I disagree with it.
It's funny because I think Beirut looked better here than when did he beat Bonak in Dubai?
In Dubai,
Flex
yeah,
Pro?
Yeah,
No, the Flex Pro was.
when they had a rematch.
It was closer in Dubai than it was here in Bonak's advantage. So Beirut was better in Empro in Spain, I would say. But regardless, yeah, I would say an A for this.
Okay. Xavier Wills Desktop Bodybuilding. What do you think of the Impro Classic Spain?
Yeah, Impro was good, wasn't it? It was
Man,
good.
that was some hard hitting analysis, ladies. You should have.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking more about it. I'm like, it was a pretty damn good show. The only thing was,
What did Mark say earlier,
like-
Supersetman? He said New York. I asked Mark, what do you think about New York? And he said, New York.
New York.
And that was it. That was it for like a whole 15 seconds. But sorry,
yeah,
go on.
that's almost like the equivalency of like in Australia for some reason when you say like, oh, you know, how you going or whatever, and someone's like, yeah.
Mhm.
It's like
Exactly.
yeah. I'm like, is yeah good? It's like, I think yeah is okay. I don't know, but it's not a way it's New York. But anyway, Emperor. I would say Emperor is up around that A tier.
Okay. Mark, what do you think?
Well, I think it has no choice but to be an A.
Yeah, I just can't do anything higher. I don't think it's higher than New York. I don't think it's higher than Romania simply because they had other good divisions. You had Jose in Classic, but that was such a done deal. You know, it took some of the excitement out. I had
the Emperor.
Yeah, at the Impro. Um, even New York had a more competitive classic division, even though there were smaller names. New York had a 212 division,
212.
just in
Good
general.
212.
Impro, yeah. Even Romania had a 212 with Ahmad Ashkanani, and then so I would say
Yeah, and that's a
bottom
big
of A
name too.
tier, but just because the
Now,
Open is so good, but I weight the shows. Like to me, like I said, I was talking to Supersetman. A lot of people don't care as long as the Open's pretty good. I'm the opposite. I actually really like a good
it helps.
supporting list. Yeah, to me more than others, I
Hmm.
think.
Now, I have to say for Impro, it Bonac winning, I like Bonac winning, but if Michael Krizo had to come in there and won the show, it would be S, I
I
would say.
think so. I think that would
Yeah.
do enough. Okay. Okay. Um let's go to let's jump back down. Let's start with the Pro Muscle Italy. So we had two shows this past month. Pro Muscle Italy with Hunter. Super Set Man. What did you think of this show?
Man, if you consider if you consider the lighting, if you consider, for me it's important, I would say it's important that the result was controversial. I mean, yeah, it's fun when it's tight, but I think Hunter was like Andrew in Texas, but he didn't deliver. So he kind of won it because he was supposed to win it and he was above everyone else from every point of view, but he didn't deliver. That's my opinion. I saw that he considers this his best ever. Many people tend to agree. I don't agree. I think maybe he was overhyped before the show. Everyone expected him to be at his all-time best, to nail it, and he didn't.
Hmm.
So I think it was maybe it wasn't a controversial decision, him winning, but it was close because Presti was very dry. So yeah, that coupled with the lighting, and I don't know about the stream because I'm not paying for this
Dream was
level.
even worse.
I'm not
It
paying.
was
I'm not.
garbage.
Yeah, I'm not paying these huge amounts. I mean, earlier we were talking about Vancouver. I mean, nobody on that list ever did the Olympia, I think. And why would you pay like $70 per day
Mhm.
for to watch guys that never did the Olympia? At least in Toronto, you had the Kim, who is a former top six Olympian. Maybe that
Yeah.
that's different, but it's nuts. I mean, comparing this with other sports, it's too expensive. So yeah.
Mhm.
So
So
I don't know about Italy. Maybe you guys know better. I don't know about the stream. How
it
expensive it was.
was maybe the worst of the year. It wasn't expensive, so I don't know, but like the quality, it looked like purple, it was really
Yeah,
dark.
the lighting and the quality and the angles and the camera switching from one guy to
Yeah.
the other without holding it fixed to the call out and all that.
I hate that.
And coupled with the fact that Hunter didn't deliver, in my opinion, that's, I don't know. Maybe the only excitement was that you're gonna get to see a top Olympian like
Yeah,
Hunter,
it's
and you can
something.
give it a D, but D D is maybe too much. D or F for me.
Okay. Okay.
What you guys think?
Xavier, would you
I was gonna say C or D. I
C?
thought you
Why
said D.
C? Why C?
It's empty.
Okay.
There's no one in
I
there.
think we'll have some C
Um,
tiers.
is it above Japan? That's what we've got to ask. Is it above Japan? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's maybe between Toronto and Japan for me. But so now when I think about it, or just above Japan.
I think F tier didn't have that many top guys. Vancouver legitimately didn't have a top open Olympian. John had been to the Olympia in 212, but not open. So yeah, you were literally paying for not nobodies, but nobody in, in terms of who you usually pay to see. At
I think
least
Hassan was there, maybe.
I don't think he wasn't this time.
You sure?
If
He was in
we're
one of them.
talking, yeah,
I thought he was in both.
if we're talking names on paper, definitely better than Japan, of course, but we're not talking only that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely better than Japan.
Man, look at
Japan,
that.
that's for
Right
sure.
again. Right again, Mark. It's it's
I don't
for
know what's going
sport
on.
at this point. But yeah, I mean, Hassan didn't help the other show he was in because he dropped the ball. But the way I see it, Hunter is at least a top six, technically top five Olympian
Yeah,
before top four.
yeah, you
It
got to
is
think of that.
something. It is something, which we can't say for Vancouver.
No, you can. You definitely cannot.
And then I think Cali does deserve the bottom spot on the list because it literally was such a region locked show. If you did not go to the show, you didn't like it wasn't for you. So I think that should be in the bottom spot. I'm okay with Hunter show in D. Mark, what do you think?
I'd go C.
Well,
But
that's
I would.
that's an
I
outlier.
wouldn't. I would complain if you wanted B, but I won't complain if you want D. You
D it
get to see
is.
Hunter Labrada,
Same.
and it was a decent. It was a decent top two at least. But I
Okay.
won't. I won't. I won't complain with D because
Let's
the lighting was terrible.
let's talk about the most recent show. I Stream was cheaper than Vancouver. You had Presti, which that it's just like some people are going to say who. Uh, I think this is F. Xavier, what do you think about the most recent show, the Europa UK?
Well, the guy who won was third after prejudging, which was only hours between,
That was
which
crazy.
is
That was crazy.
so.
The photos are out, so I'm going to look at it. But that was.
Yeah.
I know. I said controversy kind of helps, but that one it's a little rough. Like when the show, I guess controversy does really typically. I look at it more favorably when the show is better. You know?
Can I ask something as
Yeah.
well? This is on the UK. Is this the? I know there's two Bros Pro into one Bros Pro, and then
Yeah.
I don't know if this was two Bros Pro. I'm confused if it's because I know there's two brothers. I don't know if they've gone their own way and there's two different ones running shows or what. But obviously, one of them was in that controversy with Michael de Bull,
Yes.
and then a guy going from third at prejudging to first at finals. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
it was 12 points he's on at prejudging. But then to go straight first,
It is quite a jump over two
like
and a
Dave
half
Palumbo
hours.
mentioned it. A few others.
I saw William Martins, who's
Yeah, it's a very
actually
short period of
a
time.
meme on this channel, but William was like, "Yeah, there was only 2.5 hours between prejudge. He was there, and he was competing, and like that's I don't buy it. I got to be honest, it just doesn't on the face of it. But a good show helps, but like it doesn't claw its way out F tier for me. What would you say, Xavier?
Who won after
Yeah.
prejudge? Presti?
No, this guy
Yeah.
Bruno on the picture here.
No,
Bruno
no.
Santos.
Presti won after prejudging.
Oh, my bad. After prejudging, it was Presti, and then
Yep.
Santos won.
I
Straight
think it was
first at
Presti.
finals.
It went Presti, Lewis Breed, and then Bruno at
Yeah,
prejudging.
that's crazy. That is so crazy. So
The
what
top three.
do you FD? It's not going higher than that. I can tell you that.
Top of F, I guess. Bottom of D.
Top of F.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe even behind Vancouver. No.
No.
Yeah.
Stream's so expensive.
At least we're talking about it. That helps too. Mark, do you concur with that? I made the decision already. That's an F tier, but is there a silver lining?
concur. You're splitting hairs, saying
Okay.
if it's better than Vancouver or not.
And then Supersetman, I guess you probably won't push back on that.
No, no. I was expecting actually. It wasn't exciting before the show because I thought Presti has this in the bag. I mean, he lost to Hunter and now he's going to get his qualification. And
He's-
you didn't have the excitement before the show. After the show, you kind of have the disappointment. So definitely an F.
Oh, the good thing about the show, Tyler Mannion was head judge, so we should get a recap.
That's gonna be.
We will not.
I want to see. Yeah.
We will not.
This is the first year Presti hasn't been to the Olympia in like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
He's been doing it since 2021.
Yeah, he always wins the Mr. Big. It's the first year.
Let's
he
go
didn't win
there.
the
Let's
Big.
go there now. Let's go to the Mr. Big.
Good segue.
Uh,
There, we can put this into a C tier. This is a C tier.
I think that's yeah. Hold on. Let me look at the other.
We have our
Good
C.
show. It was a good show.
But did it have anything else? Well,
It had decent 212, and I think it had decent classic.
Okay, name me one person in the 212.
I have to see it. To be reminded.
Let's see.
Once I see it, I'm pretty sure there was.
What else is the show even called? Mr. Big.
It's the only other Mister besides the Mr. Olympia.
Oh, that means it's
I would
less.
Command F that. Command F and type in big. Probably already got it in the search bar there.
Didn't
Why
it
is it
also have
not?
another name?
Oh,
The Spain something.
why is it not? I didn't even know you could command.
Portugal. It's the Portugal.
Is that
Yeah.
what it's called? I'll
Yes.
just
Portugal.
hold on. I'm Mr. Big Evolution Portugal Pro. Man, look at this lighting. Look at the oil.
Yeah, the lighting and the
Yuck.
was awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's for sure.
Mark, it's your time to name some guy in the 212.
Let me see. Let me see. And then I'll name them.
Nasser Muhammad.
Nasser, yeah.
Don't pretend.
I was actually going to say it would be someone like and I couldn't think of his name, and that's who I was thinking of. Nas Muhammad, and there's another guy that looks similar to him a little bit. I was going to say him as well, but I just can't.
You had a good classic physique. You had Vahid and Stefan.
Solid.
French Ramon Dino, as they say.
Bikini was good.
Excuse me?
The bikini winner was great.
Supersetman, what did you think about the bikini division?
I hate it because on the Olympia is always in the morning here in Romania, like 2-3 a.m. and I always have to wait for freaking bikini to watch.
Hey, it's not just the two biggest culprits are bikini and men's physique. That's why I only kept it to open pro shows, because there's two shows a weekend that'll have men's physique and just bikini. That's got to stop. That has got to stop.
Yeah.
One thing that
I know that some would say that bikini girls and blah blah blah, but I'm not watching IFBB for chicks, so
This is for men. I'm watching this for men.
yeah.
That's what I get kick out of people watch wrestling. No, you should watch wrestling. There's this cute girl on there. I'm like, if I want to see a cute girl, I'll go ask my wife out for a date or something like that. I'm not gonna watch professional wrestling to get a glimpse of a same thing.
Xavier, what were you
going to
say?
too. I can't actually remember, but yeah, it's something about. It's gone. Move on.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Okay.
It's gone.
I think C tier. Does anyone disagree?
No.
It was good.
Okay,
It was
that's a good one.
Yeah,
I think so goes Big Pro. So does Flex Pro. Maybe a bit.
They're
definitely
the
above.
same. They're the same.
They are, yeah. You just kind of change them out, because
Well, it was
you have the
better
two
lighting.
guys. Yeah, the two guys. That's true.
Much better lighting. Look at that. Huh?
Anything else in the other divisions?
No, I don't dare mention bikini again.
Oh, you had less divisions here, but it doesn't really. To me,
I'd put it one smidge above the last show.
I would say. Does anybody disagree there?
Same tier, smidge ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Better lighting.
Let's continue. I think we're gonna have a lot of C tiers to finish this out. Tampa Pro.
John De La Rosa.
The lineup was a little beefier.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it at the same.
The lighting was good, wasn't it?
Oh
no,
lighting was okay.
Lighting was okay.
Photos weren't the best.
The background sucked. Sucked.
That yellow background.
Oh, you have a 212 division. Jordan Janowitz. Mid.
David Henry was third.
Mid.
Oh, really? Good old David.
Jeez, he's
Cam
been
George. Cam George, who was in fourth, is actually really good. Check him out. He's from Australia.
Ah, the fellow Australian. Look at the quad sweeps on that feller.
Mid. Anyway,
yeah, he's coming up.
Mid.
Justin, he's coming up as his pro debut.
He should play the didgeridoo when he comes out.
This is like the Texas. This is like the Texas top four, just slightly different. Very good names all through the top four. Fabioni, Sylvain, Dankove, Gabriel, Justin was actually
Dankove Anderson. He's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah,
that
Budarina.
See his front lat spread. Show that front lat spread so your audience can see.
So my audience can see. My audience knows not to. Actually, there is a guy. If you're watching, that recommends to do a comparison with Justin. I think I'll be getting around to it. I'm not 100% sure,
Look
but
at
I think
that,
I'll get
huh?
around to it.
Huh? Look at that.
How bad is that background though? He looks insane in that
It
lat
is
spread,
bad.
but yeah.
But he has a pretty front lat spread. Nice
Now,
hairdo.
would you
too,
say
eh?
that to his
You guys
face?
know? You guys notice he has a nice hairdo as well?
Mid. Okay.
No. Good
Uh,
hairdo. The man's haircut.
this is closer to B than the other ones, I reckon. I mean, in open, you had John De La Rosa, Mofoda, Jordan, Vlad, Lewis Breed.
Jordan was in.
Tim was in
yeah.
here. Eric Wood was in here. Eric's.
It's deep, isn't it? It's a deep
This
lineup.
reminds me of the Cali, if the Cali had good live stream and lighting and stuff, because it's a similar type of lineup as the Cali.
Yeah.
I'd say it's deeper than Cali. A little bit deeper. You reckon?
So, is it good enough? Supersetman, is it good enough for B tier?
No.
I was gonna say I'm gonna
Nah,
walk
I,
right
I
off right
was
now.
looking at the B, what we already have on B, and I wouldn't put it on that level. I mean, I'm more focused on the open, so I'm thinking about the open. John De La Rosa, you can say he's a legend. He's competing for over 10 years, I think. And Mo Farah is a newcomer, but he wasn't at his best, so no, not a B for me.
Mark?
I mean, you can't compare it with Texas. Texas
Okay.
is in B, right?
Yeah, I would say so. But Mark, do you think closer to the? I don't think it's closer to the bottom of C tier. Like, there's no way it's bordering on. I think there's a clear divide between C and D. Honestly, like these shows, on some level, they have a major gap that they did not fill. Up to they didn't do anything right, or did too much wrong. I think there's a clear divide between C and D, and then it just falls off a cliff. But do you
Yeah.
think Tampa should be up here or like lower? Where would you put Tampa in like the C tiers we have?
We're end.
The far end of which
Yeah.
end?
Is that the least end? That is
Yes.
that right now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I'd keep it.
Okay.
Same.
I'd put Texas behind Detroit too.
I'd put Texas behind Cali. Okay.
Savage.
Let's talk about one more, I think, probably C tier show. It's just Tampa, the Chicago Pro, you know. It was slightly different. Oh. Oops.
Tampa
Okay.
and Chicago.
You had 212
They're
here.
always the same.
You had Carlos Dahmer. What, I don't know how
That's
he
that
pronounced.
Jeffrey Dahmer guy. He wears glasses.
He does wear the glasses too. Yeah,
Yeah.
He has a special diet, special kind of diet.
he does. That's what I've heard.
Me
I've
too.
been trying to implement some of the tips, quite literally.
No,
Anyway,
you haven't.
oh no, you don't know what I do off camera. So
Biting
I
your
don't
finger
know.
doesn't count.
I don't even know my meal.
Do you guys Chicago and I think maybe one of the Open I think is maybe a little better than
Tampa?
yeah, I can't even say that. Like it's just Tampa.
Chicago's C, right?
Oh, for sure. I don't think anyone would disagree. Supersetman, would you?
C, but I don't know where on C, but definitely C.
Bottom of C.
It should be next to Tampa, but I don't
It's
know.
the same.
Definitely next to Tampa. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
same,
the same thing.
same
And then
event
and
without
then
Jewish.
Dubai Pro.
I like Dubai.
I really liked the dynamic of this guy beat that guy. He went on to beat this guy. Then that guy, you know, he had the two shows. He had the top two at the Big Man Pro, the Flex Pro, and
That was exciting.
yeah, and then they all rematched. I really liked that. So I think that puts it right by the M Pro.
Yeah.
Supersetman, what do you think?
Based on Nexila's dance, I thought he.
Oh, I forgot Nexzilla was there.
To see his dance when he come out.
Yeah,
So,
what an
His
embarrassment.
dance. I can't
I
remember
You
his
didn't
dance.
see that?
Oh,
goofy
Nexzilla.
dance he did?
Nexzilla. When you said Nexzilla, I was thinking you were saying Cruzo for some reason. I'm like, Nexzilla? I'm like, Cruzo dancing.
Cruzo
Oh, yeah,
can't
Nexzilla.
dance.
Well, I heard on the Menace podcast or something, they were making a joke about Chris giving him too much of something, or they were joking, but I'm like, I'm
Probably
actually
did. Not
wondering because
too far from the truth, right?
Take
Yeah,
this.
I
exactly.
did I did hear actually this sort of rumored a couple of times. I'm like, there's something there. He's had something before he's gone on stage, whether it's he's had a drink or if he's had something, a bit of
Like
weed or
Ross
something. I don't
Flanagan.
know, but
Ross
yeah,
Flanagan.
Flanagan did too much edibles.
Yeah, he had too many edibles and he took a bad one. You get out there and it's like, woo, this is a little too real.
I
I can
think
taste color.
Yeah.
Dubai, it's up here with Romania. I would say M Pro is closer to B than honestly.
Yeah.
Dubai is definitely up here with the upper. Like it may, like think about it. You had Aaron Banks in men's physique for the men's physique guys. You had Breon and Vahid in classic. You had Angel Calderon, Nasser Muhammad
Yeah.
in 212.
Yeah.
And then the open.
Angels. Yeah.
And the prize money, right?
Yes, it made like the stakes were raised, and I felt it, even though I wasn't getting any slice of the money, I felt it. So Xavier, where would you put
Dude,
this in the
kind
A
of.
tier? What? Yeah,
You did kind of reporting on it.
true, true.
Yeah.
I would say A. The only issue I have with it is just the organization of it.
Oh,
And the
that's
thing is,
true.
having so much prize money, take away, I don't like saying take away prize money, take out 10 grand out of that 360 or 370K that you put up, take away 10 grand and give that to someone on social media or a video editor or a photo editor to make a ton of images and videos to put up to hype up the show. You know what I mean? Like that would just make so much more sense to me. And to actually organize when this live stream is going to be up and everything in advance. Like if you did those things, you are S tier easily.
Do you think where an A tier do you think it is? All the divisions were good.
Top of A, I think, just based on the
Above New York?
it would be S.
Let me take a
below
look.
New York.
Let me take a look.
Below. New York was really good, man. That
at these
excitement
top
was
fives.
crazy.
EP, it was his second mention. Jake, he specifically had it in second. Goat Fitness mentions Dubai. You yourself mentioned Dubai. So Xavier, where would you yourself put Dubai in
So I put
terms
it
of the
below
18?
Texas in those picks there, but I was going more off the whole overall production of the show, more so than the lineup. So I was going like lineups like 20% of it. That's what I was thinking earlier. So taking the lineup into account, that gets it right up there. So yeah, I would say around the New York Pro level wise.
Is it
New
better
York,
than
you gotta
Romania?
remember,
Better than Romania?
no, I'd leave it right where it is. I'm happy with where it is.
Okay.
I'm open to it going slightly up or down.
Okay. Supersetman, where do you want Dubai in the A tier?
I agree with where is it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, same like the lineup and everything. It's top of A at least, but factoring in, I mean, Xavier had a great point about having that prize money and not investing a few more in the production, which would have made a huge difference. So yeah.
Okay. And then Mark, where are you fine with the placing? Where do you think it should be in A tier or maybe S tier?
This was the one that they had a hard time with the live stream. Shut off and
Yes,
all that.
that's
Yeah.
where I said that you can only buy it on the first day and then it crashed the second
If
day.
not for that, I would actually put it ahead of Romania because I liked the three snakes eating each other.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's such a good dynamic. Actually, I think it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
If
because of that, yeah, you
Okay.
can put it behind Romania.
so, that's
that
the
was
list.
Damn
That's
good show too.
Yeah, that's the list. If you could change one thing, we'll go to everyone. If you can change one thing, what would it be? Let's start with Xavier. If you can change one flipperoo, what are you changing?
There's not much. I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I forced my opinion enough to push them into what I think is the right spots. But
Okay.
there's nothing I really. Okay, one thing. I'd put the Arnold Classic. Oh no, but then you got Good Vito. Good Vito sort of keeps that Arnold Classic Brazil there. I
Fabio
just didn't
Junior.
like the stream.
It was free.
Yeah. Yeah, it was free, wasn't it? Can't complain.
Look, there are only
Maybe I'd
three.
put Prague. Maybe I'd put Prague down and put New York up. Now I look at it.
No,
Maybe I just swap those.
that's such a hard disagree on me.
No, he says. He asks him his opinion, and he says, "No."
You're
No.
actually wrong, and your opinion
Okay.
doesn't count.
Okay, that's Xavier's opinion.
Uh,
Mark, same question to you. No, we're gonna circle back here. If you could change one thing about this list, what's your one flip?
I would put Flex Pro and Mr. Big to B, and I would put Texas down to C.
Okay, remember when I said one?
Well,
What's the biggest thing? I will let the two.
I can't put those up there without putting Texas down there.
Okay, I'll let that slide because I think those two shows were very similar. Like we said, they were basically the same one. You can flip those. I get it. Supersetman, what is the one thing if you could change you would?
I would actually put Texas ahead of Arnold Brazil, but Arnold was free, so I'm good with that. So I don't.
Yeah, I agree.
Free stream
wouldn't-
helps out.
I wouldn't change. I think Texas is underrated because if you took out, and again I'm talking about men's open, lighting and stage
Mid.
production mainly, because that's what I'm personally interested in seeing the good product and seeing the athletes, my favorite athletes or who I want to see. So if you take out Andrew, I still think it was a decent show. Like you have the excitement about the next placings,
Okay.
the 2, 3, and 4.
They were close.
3 or
And
4 were
having Andrew jacked in possibly what would be a Mr. Olympia worthy physique. I mean, if he replicates this physique at the Olympia, he's in the top 3, I think.
could be.
I agree.
And
Have you heard of
that-
Martin Fitzwater?
And that's huge. And one more thing, he is either 3 or first, because you can't put him between Hadi and Derek, because Hadi and Derek will probably be very
I
close.
see. Yeah, I think that's a good argument actually.
It's either you don't want, yeah, that's not enough, that's third or even fourth, because Nick can be in that mix if he fixes the midsection. But if you decide that Andrew is beating one of those two guys, he's beating both of them.
I would agree with that. Yeah, they have to go
So
with each other.
having this physique at this show, and everyone was talking about it. I mean, he broke the internet with Texas was exciting. So I would put it ahead of Arnold Brazil, but Arnold
I got a spike from the Texas. My views.
Yeah, and Arnold was free, and that's huge. That's why all the Arnolds are, I mean, the Ohio and UK are far better than Prague if you count this. So in a way, Prague would be a if you count this more. Like if you appreciate the fact that they were free and they were the best from lineup and everything. Production was great. So that's why I'm keeping it like this. I'm happy with what we have. I don't know. I didn't like Italy, so I would maybe
put that in F. That's the biggest travesty on this. Put it in an F minus tier. That show was. I get it,
because it's expectations versus reality, and Italy didn't deliver. So
yeah. The change I would make.
Also, sorry, yeah.
The
I
change
was just going to say about it. I was just
go
sorry.
ahead.
I was just going to say about Texas. Texas as well. Like they did the thing that Dubai didn't do. They had the stream link out there early. They had like the promotion for the show. They actually did
Freddie
like, pre-show
Nadeau
interviews. Yeah, Freddie Nadeau, and is her name Sheila someone? No, that might be wrong.
Sheila.
I don't want to get that wrong.
Someone.
Whoever promotes it with him, I can't remember her name exactly. But she did a lot of the interviews and stuff with the athletes, and I know Freddie Nadeau does a lot, and they just promote it well, you know. So you're not like guessing like, oh, what's going to happen with the Texas Pro? It's like, cool, I'm going to be able to cover it. It's going to be easy. There's going to be, you know, some high quality video coming out. I don't think all of it sort of came out of every athlete. I'm not sure. Maybe it did in the end, because I know they're put maybe some restrictions on there, because I know the videographers sell the video to the athletes for it's a lot of money. I think it's like a couple of $100, and I know they charge the pro athletes
That's
that
ridiculous.
as well to get their video. But if they do really well, then they don't have to obviously pay for it, because I'll just upload it. They upload the top couple generally, or like first, and then I hate it when they upload first and then third and then fourth, and they leave out like second. I'm like, you're doing this on purpose. You don't want us to use this footage to compare them.
The only thing I would change, I would flip Dubai and New York.
See, the New York, you go back and look at that lineup, that top 10 and the excitement.
You know what?
Martin, Nick, Tonio, Quentin, lots of names.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know,
good lighting, good stream.
The stream really hurts Dubai. Like on the face of it, I would agree with what I just said, but then it's just I'm just pulled back constantly by I literally tried to be a patron and buy the stream and I couldn't. And that was really frustrating. So yeah, I guess like there are some things. I'm settled here. Question for Xavier: where would the Legion, if it qualified for this year, be in this tier list?
Probably around the bottom of F somewhere. No, in all seriousness, like it is a decent show. I hate the backdrop with the like.
Oh, I don't really hate it.
I actually I like it, but the problem is it makes it messier. You know what I mean? With all the, because they have essentially like superheroes out of the bodybuilders.
It's a painted mural.
I know it would be really cool, but if they could just make it a little bit darker in the middle, or even if that mural was all across the top and around the sides, and they had this bit where it faded into this where it's darker, and then the body was composing there. So when you have the photos and the video, the background is
totally agree.
One color or two colors or something like that, where it's not red, it's not orange, it's not yellow. It's just something opposite of that. Because I even liked the New York Pro backgrounds back in the day, where you had the green background and you had Big Ramy.
Yeah.
When he did that show. Very easy to see the athlete with the green in the background, because it's a complete contrast from the athlete, the color of most of the athletes.
They should just make it black.
Iron Man was good too. If you remember the old Iron Man.
Oh,
yeah, Iron Man.
They just have that like glittery look in the background, and
and the lighting itself was, I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, well, it used to be done by a photographer.
Okay, guys, you don't have to. You don't have to stare at me.
I thought we froze. You're the host.
All right. I think that's all I have to cover. Xavier, this is your first time on the best podcast, the Project Bodybuilding podcast.
I'm really confused with which podcast is which.
Yeah, I thought you were on here before.
No, Xavier was never on. We've been on places together with Xavier. But Xavier's never been hosted on the Project Bodybuilding podcast. And how was your experience? What would you rate it?
Yeah, I came in halfway through and I feel good. I feel good about it. I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I see this sort of video done in a lot of other industries where you like rank and you do the tier system.
But never.
And I was actually thinking, because I think I saw, have you done it before?
Yes.
Something?
Yes, we ranked Jake and I. We ranked every single person who their chances to get to the Olympia. You know, we had a tier that was like he's gonna be there 80%. It's iffy, slim to none, and then no chance. And we were actually pretty right on our top 19 or whatever it was that ended up qualifying. So,
oh, that's cool. So yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing some more. I don't know if you guys do these, but do you guys know what a pairwise comparison is?
No,
I have no idea.
Okay, so these big lineups were always like, well, what is your ranking? To me, that makes no sense. That question is I ask it every podcast, but it's just so dumb. So when AJ came on to do the AJ Kelly Robert came on to do the New York Pro, I was like, this show's so deep, I'm going to do a pairwise comparison. It's basically you put your names, your options, and it'll do A/B comparisons of every single matchup. And then you just vote on them. You don't have to think about a whole lineup. You just think about, can this guy beat this guy? And I know that's not bodybuilding because it's in a lineup. It's in a lineup, so it changes. But all you have to do is think about one decision. And
Tinder.
Exactly. And it literally is like are you swiping right? Are you swiping left? And like it'll tell you how many battles a person won. It's just a pairwise comparison. It compares every one of them. So I think
That's
those
cool.
such underrated tools that we will be using for the Olympia. But I think this was such this idea was has been I've been waiting to do this for weeks now, and it didn't disappoint. Supersetman is grinning. He's with the fact that he's just so excited. He was like, "Man, that was really good." And then desktop, he has his smirk as well. We heard what you said about the semen, and then Mark is contemplating. Mark, Xavier, did you look at my story?
Wasn't that on an episode the other day? Mark just left. You upset him.
Mark, Xavier, did you see my story I posted?
No, what was it?
I don't think, I should be able to play the audio. Give me a second here. Profile. Okay, give me a sec. Oh, it's not going to be on there. No, it's not going to be on there. It said, it was like, what we were talking about the Titanic, and you were like, I said she spits on people like him daily, and then there's a pause, and you said, well, maybe she just likes semen, and I just cut it off right there.
I remember that. I remember him saying
I remember that now too.
So you watched until the very end of that last podcast?
Me?
Yes.
No, because it was I haven't listened to all of it yet. I skipped past the bit where actually no, maybe I did. Maybe I did. I can't remember.
It was getting a little anti-Semitic towards the end.
Oh, really? I was listening to with you guys not on there, and I just couldn't figure out where the part was where I actually wasn't there. So I think I skipped forward and skipped some bits, but I don't know if I got to the end or not. I don't know. I have to go back and check.
Yeah. Mark he's ready to go. So
keeps shutting off on me. Is it shutting off on you guys?
Yeah, but we're
that was the second time.
We can hear you fine.
Oh, you're not lagging anymore?
Am I lagging now?
No, you're not. Just in time.
Because it shut off. As soon as I come back on, it works.
Now it's lagging. Now it lags.
Yeah. Now his mouth's lagging.
It's just
the second time it shut off on me.
It's just my Zoom. I don't know why it does that. But anyway, any final thoughts from anybody?
One other thing.
Okay.
One final thought is that Riverside, for some reason, I lag, I think. Because all you guys lag when I do Riverside, but when I do Zoom, it's like perfect.
Try not being in Australia. Have you considered it?
I definitely have actually, but yeah, nah. The internet down here sucks.
Yeah.
I just sounded so Australian man too. Because every Australian, for some reason, like when you interview like an AFL footballer, like Australian rules, they go, oh, how do you think the team went? And everyone says, oh yeah, nah. It's like just they start answer, yeah, nah, the boys pulled together, it's a real team effort. It's like, yeah, nah. It's just always an answer. Like someone says, are you doing this? Yeah, nah.
Yeah, I have a friend that says no matter what you ask him, he says, yeah, no.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, no. And it's like, well, that is funny.
That is funny. That is
Australia. In Australia, it's everything's like we say nah. We don't say no.
You don't even pronounce the L at the end of your own country's name. It's Australia. Australia. Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, it's like a lot of yes.
Melbourne.
It's Melbourne.
Every American says in the way.
Melbourne. Yeah, we have a bit of a British. We have like British culture here. Plus, also we just adopt some stuff from America, and then we just made up our own stuff because most of our culture comes from. Yeah, you do get some people, like if you get people that are a bit more posh, they have way more of like a sort of British-ish sounding accent.
Bit more posh. You guys mind if I use the Louvre?
The Louvre.
Is that not toilet?
No, we call. You
call it a commode.
If I'm no, we call it a lot of things. Like if you're talking like Australian slang,
yeah.
If I was at a mate's, I was like, oh, I just need to use a shitter.
Oh, that's nice.
Dunny. I don't.
I
no one really
use
uses Dunny.
I need to use the Danny.
The head.
The Dunny.
The Dunny.
You never heard of Dunny?
No, I call it what the object is, not some name. I'm not going to use Donny for my excrement.
Like there's so many things. Australians just rename everything heaps of different names. Like if I said to my friend, if I was at his house and I needed to go to the toilet to do a number one, I could say, oh, yeah, yeah. He's like, oh, we're gonna leave now. I'm like, yeah, I just need to use the shit. I just need to use the shit. And he'd know I'm going to the toilet or something. You know what I mean? You just say it and you're just, oh, yep, yeah, you know what that is. You just rename anything.
Savages.
And as long as you have enough of a resemblance of what that actual thing is, then you'll do it. And it's the same thing with nicknames. Like I had
Donald
probably
Trump.
20.
Donald Trump, please do not accept this guy's visa application. Don't deport this guy if he's ever in. I swear, we don't need. I'm going to use the shitta to piss. Yeah, we please.
See,
maybe Romania will take you.
I would. But when I get to America, I just turn into like some like American Australian hybrid. You know what I mean? Like you adapt really quickly.
What does that look
when I was
like?
in America
Like
and I was in
chupacabra?
Vegas, I heard a chupacabra. What's that off? Is that a South Park or something?
No, continue.
Chupacabra. That's like
Okay.
It's like
devil.
a wolf. Yeah, it's like a wolf creature. It's an urban
the
legend.
Jersey Devil.
Okay,
That's what they called
South
me
Park
back in
must
high
have
school.
taken something off on it. Okay, but
Yeah,
yeah, like my nicknames in high school, it's like I can't even think of them now.
Racist.
So my name is Xavier Wills, so it's Zave. X Willsy Wills turns into Pills, and then it turns into Pilsner, and then it turns into I don't know. There's so many, but your friends will start calling you like. There's one guy. His name's
My friends start calling me Perk 30. I don't know what you
Yeah.
like. What?
So, but
Pilsy.
and Pilsner's like the last name of a soccer player in the UK. I don't know. It just evolves. Like there's one guy we used to call Beef or Beefy. So we used to call him Beefy, and then we called him Beef. But his name was Ryan Bevan, and he played soccer. They were calling him Bevo at the soccer. There's some other random guy that thought he was being called Beefy. So he's like, yeah, Beefy. And he's like, yelling for him or whatever, being supportive of the team, but he's calling him Beefy. And they were cracking up. So his nickname became Beefy, and then it became Beef. And then for some reason, they started calling him Beefy under Keefy. So sometimes people would call him Beefy. Anyway.
Is that racist?
This is how Australians work.
Beefy on the Keefy?
Beefy under Keefy. And then I stupidly asked, because I was calling him Beefy under Keefy. And I'm like, I thought maybe they called him Beefy because his last name was under Keefy. And I'm like, your last name really isn't under Keefy, is it? And everyone laughed at me because no one's last name is under Keefy.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
I went down a rabbit hole.
Why even name anything? Like, you guys don't bring this wicked communist ideology over to my country, please.
We'll end up just grunting at each other eventually, and we'll just,
Exactly.
Exactly. Our communication.
Okay, well, now that we've gotten our homework in for Xavier Will's desktop bodybuilding, that's going to do it for episode 26 of the Project Bodybuilding podcast here with first time ever guest Xavier Wills, Florin, I don't know how to say his last name, Supersetman, and Marx Max Muscle Maximus. Thank you, everybody. You'll see us all on our respective channels. I'll see you all in my next video.